Yo, what is good? What's good? I see we got quite a turnout for the night so far. Appreciate everybody pulling up. We are officially doing a tier list for the night. Shout out to Hydros for adding a tier list to the site. Yeah, it's convenient. But I'll do some shout outs really quick. Let me get some music going so we can vibe. And we will kick it off. Hopefully that's not too loud or inconvenient for you guys. If you need me to turn up the music or turn it down or turn my mic volume up, whatever the case may be, just let me know. But again, appreciate everybody pulling up. Hopefully you all smash that like button. Definitely help support the channel. And we have officially passed 2,500 subscribers. I was finna say 25,000, but we are nowhere near that. But we running a slow race over here. And I appreciate all the love and support I've gotten so far. And you guys have been amazing. And, kicking the year off at 2,500 subs is definitely nothing to scoff at. And I definitely appreciate you guys. That is the wrong tab I'm opening up. But let's do those shout outs. Let's see who all we got here. We got Peyton, we got Skelebomber, we got Eric, Zara, Dr. Christelle here as always. I know that's your parents' account. I forgot what you said your real name is, but I appreciate you being here. We got Noah here. We got Raiden, Hassan, Phobia. Let's see. I don't want to say the same people multiple times. I think that about covers it. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Oh, and we just got Oxine. Happy birthday. How you doing, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Like I said, I was kind of hesitant about doing the tier list. One, I feel like they're flawed in general, but yeah, they can be fun. And again, including you guys in it was the best way to go about it. So that's what ultimately brought me around to go ahead and doing one. But how are you? I'm chilling, having a pretty good day so far. Got a video out earlier, and then I decided to go ahead and stream for the night. So here we are. What's up, Kat? Hope you're doing well. I am. I appreciate everybody pulling up. And shout out to everybody who subscribed recently. Again, you guys, that definitely helps to keep me motivated going forward. But as we're all here for the night, we have over 30 plus characters in the game, including skill sets. And what better way to celebrate the game than by ranking all the characters, in order from best to worst. Objectively, I don't think any character is like unplayable or just, terribly designed per se. But I do acknowledge that some characters do have very bad matchups. It's kind of like rock, paper, scissors is almost, where it's like, just certain skill sets or certain character kits are just a really bad matchup for certain characters. It was a lot more balanced, I would say, in the earlier seasons. So like in seasons 1 through 3, maybe 1 through 4. Yeah, maybe 1 through 4. The meta and balance between characters was a little more tolerable for most people, I would say. Like, you had matchups like Assault All Might. You pretty much needed 3 characters, like a full team to beat Assault All Might back in its prime. Especially if you were running, characters who were pretty much stuck to the ground. Can I friend you, please? Yeah, just send me a buddy invite. I know most of you guys have been sending them. I just got to go in and just go down the list and accept all of them. But yeah, it's like like All Might versus Dabi. That was a tough matchup for Tech Dabi in season 1. It's a tough matchup in general, but there are paths for victory for Dabi. All Might versus Shigaraki. Again, that's another tough matchup. Aizawa versus Shigaraki. Those are tough matchups for Shigaraki. Is there ways he can win? Yes. But if he's out in the open, especially back in those seasons when we only really had one map, it, the circle could definitely put you in a bad spot. So again, that's where ingenuity, creativity, and skill came into play. So just because you have a character with an advantage doesn't mean you're gonna win by default. But again, like season 3 when they removed aim assist, if you were playing Froppy, where is she at? If you were playing Froppy around that time, you were having a pretty good time, because where did she go? How did she end up all the way down there? I was trying to move her up. All right. Well, anyway, if you were playing Froppy around that time when aim assist was nerfed, you were loving it, because again, like Bakugo versus Froppy during season 3, if you didn't have aim, Froppy was a literal terrorist for you. Like Frappies were hunting Bakugos left and right if they couldn't aim. Like if you could not hit your alphas on Froppy, you were in trouble. And you were in trouble with most of the cast back then. Like Mount Lady was thriving. Tech Toga, Toga is always going to thrive. Like no matter what the meta is or who the new characters are, Toga is going to always be a part of the meta simply based off the fact that she can take your quirks. Same goes for like Monoma, for the most part. But yeah, like I said, it's balancing the game has always been a very difficult task. And like I said, when you take into account that most players have a bias towards specific characters, so that there are characters that you hate, there are characters that you love. The characters that you love, you want them to be the best. You want them to have all the advantages, or you don't want them to struggle with the characters that you hate. And the characters that you hate, you want them to get nerfed. You don't want to struggle with them. You don't want them to be as big of a problem for your favorite characters as they are. And with that being a part of the conversation, is like I can't objectively take your opinion on a tier list or on the character seriously if you have that kind of bias at play. So it's like, Assault Kirishima, he takes no skill, he's stupid, it's an easy character to play, he's trash. That's an extremely biased opinion, bro, because it's like, if you actually play this, man, if you play Assault Kirishima, like I said, as you level him up, his damage goes up, the range of his attacks go up and everything. But still, if you're playing someone who's more skilled than you, or they have, better characters than Assault Kirishima, you're going to struggle a little bit. Or a lot. Like Aizawa back then, he was a menace for, Kirishima, because just because he can shut him down. You can shut off his quirks, so you can take him out of his special action, you can grab him with your alphas. You had a lot going on, and I feel like honestly every character in this game genuinely takes skill. You can see it when you're playing somebody or you're fighting somebody who's new to the game or not that skilled with a character. So I can beat people playing Tech All Might with Tech Dabi. I've literally been doing it. I just did it a couple of days ago when I was running around in solos just chilling. But it's like, and I'm not talking about like new players. Like, I can tell what you're doing to a certain degree, but that doesn't mean you're elite. That doesn't mean you're a high ranking ace rank, player or anything like that. Just because you have the better character doesn't mean you're going to win by default. I was killing Prime Hulks with Tech Dabi in season 7. Like, Tech Dabi was one of my answers for Prime Hulks in season 7. If you've been playing the game since season 7, then you know how much of a problem Hawks was in his prime. And this is before tuning. This is without tuning. This is just raw damage. Hawks with free flight and beta and all of that stuff getting shut down by Tech Dabi, because I knew how to. There's a logic to playing Tech Dabi. Like, there's a logic to playing every character for the most part, but we'll get into all that later. Moving into the actual tier list. Who do you guys want me to rank first? I'll let you pick. So whoever you guys got in mind for me to start with, that's who we'll get started with. Ibarra is a great A tier, in my opinion. Ibarra is underrated. Like in the hands of people who really know what they're doing, Ibarra is a problem. All right, we got an overwhelming amount of Sue. All right, so let's take Froppy to the top. And since for right now, I'm just gonna place her in C tier just so she's visible on the screen. So that's not where I'm ranking her. That's just so she's on the screen while I break down where I'm placing her. Make sense for everybody? Got it. All right, so in the show and in the game, I think Froppy is one of the best characters, written and just in function. And I feel like the game does a great job of bringing the logic of Froppy to the games, like in terms of her gameplay. So she is like she's a rapid, but she's also a unofficial support character. Like if you have a very good Froppy on your team who knows her role, you have outstanding support. You have somebody who you know is going to pull you out of the fire if you go down. And a good Froppy knows how to pop team heals, team fools, all of that stuff. But she can also be what I call aggressive support. And by that, I mean somebody who's not afraid to fight to support you. So just because I have an instant revive and I have some team heals, it doesn't mean that I'm also afraid to come in and, throw hands, to get you out of that gym. And because of her alpha, beta being, well, her beta is more so, that's her biggest attack in terms of doing just raw damage. And her alpha, that doubles as her mobility and her attack. So you got to kind of choose between attacking or running. So I think she only get 3 charges of it if I'm not mistaken. So she has 3 alpha charges that she has to balance between using the escape and attack, and pairing that with her beta for her combos. She can fly away and turn invisible with her gamma. Like she can, now with tuning, she can run around walls and all of that. I feel like Froppy is a solid A because she, again, when you play her well, when you understand her kit and her character, she can be pretty solid. And if she plays her role right, she's never in a situation where she has to fight full teams by herself. Froppy is one of those characters that can't really 1v3 characters unless, like, she would have to have a huge advantage over whoever she is facing. And again, just looking at most of the cast, I don't see like Shigaraki. She has a pretty big advantage over him. She can be a really big problem for Cementos just because she can get over his head a lot consistently. Like I said, Bakugo with no aim, she can be a nightmare for him. So it's not many scenarios where she's just going to be dominating a whole cast of characters, but in conjunction with her team, Froppy can be a really big problem. And even in solos, like if she plays the field right, she always catches you with your pants down, essentially. So when you're low and thinking you're safe in the bushes or around the corner trying to get a quick heal, it's always a Froppy or a Deku that comes out of nowhere and hits you. 9 times out of 10 is gonna be Froppy though, and they just have a sixth sense for when people are weak, and they just hone in on it and they go ham on you, bro. Like there is no getting away from her at that point. And again, that's what makes her dangerous. But I got Froppy at a A. She's not that at the top of A, obviously, but a solid character with a solid kit that does a great job of representing how she functions in both the show and in the game. All right, who we got next? Who do we want next? Again, I'll let you guys choose. Who do you guys want? Bakugo. We got to do him twice since he got a skill set. Could you do Tech Shiggy? Could you do Deku twice? Cementos, Izuku, Cementos, Bakugo. Deku, please. Alright, Cementos. I'm trying to see how they adding up. I'm trying to see how this is all adding up. It's looking like Cementos is in the lead right now. I got one for Hado. Two. That's the same account. We got 3 for Cementos. All right, we'll go with him. Everybody who knows me know I call him the cement boss. And again, I'm just placing him in C so he's visible on the screen. I feel like this is a perfect example of how creative the dev team can be when they want to be. Because in the show, we really didn't see a whole lot from Cementos. Like, we saw him, making different structures and things like that. We saw him kind of try to break up the fight between Todoroki and Deku in the UA Festival arc. And he was in the war arc a little bit when they were trying to invade the villain compound and everything. Like, he was making Mount Lady weapons with cement and all of that stuff. Like, he's a cool character and concept, and I feel like King definitely saw the potential he had, and when they brought him into the game, being able to build up and get off of the ground was such a big advantage in those first few seasons, because again, not many characters could easily get off the ground. So like, Deku, he can black whip up there, but if he's low level with his black whip, I mean, he only has one. It's not easy for him to get up there and get his shots off at you. Bakugo can fly. Ochako can get up there. Ida can get up there. Shoto, he couldn't get up there too easily. Momo, she's not getting up there. Ibara, she's not getting up there. Dabi, Shigaraki, it was a problem for most of the cast to deal with a really good Cementos. And even now, he's not a terrible character. Like, I don't feel like he's had a huge fall from grace or anything. But because so many characters now have upwards mobility, he's not as dominant as he used to be. So again, you have 2 versions of Bakugo who can get up high. They added Strike Deku, who can easily scale the top of Cementos towers. Rapid Deku is a nightmare for him. Asato Chako, she can be a problem for him. Tech Shoto with his explosions, with his beta, that can be a problem. Strike Kirishima can be a problem for him. The list just goes on and on. Like, Camping Tech Dinky, even if he just tries to run up on you, because he can spam his alphas and stun you up close, that can be a problem. Monoma is a nightmare. Strike Kendo can be a problem. Rapid Mirio is kind of it depends. It depends on his skill level, because he has to use most of his alpha ammo to even get up there for you. And Tech Mirio, if you smack him while his gamma is active, he's just going to be punishing you the entire time. Amajiki can easily get up there with his special action, and he can just shoot through your pillars with his gamma. Nejire is a nightmare. Shoto is a nightmare. All Might has always been a nightmare. Rapid All Might is going to be a nightmare. Tech All Might's a nightmare for him. Aizawa can press him. This dude is... We'll talk about him. Like, I have thoughts on him. I'm glad he's in the game, but I definitely have thoughts on bro. But again, like, so many of the cast can just easily get up there. Giant Mount Lady and Assault All Might were probably his biggest problems back in the day. Like, outside of Giant Mount Lady, it wasn't too many people who can flat out bully him. But out in the open, again, we only used to have USJ, so Giant Mount Lady out in the open in a small circle, it was just over with for Cementos, because he can't go anywhere. He can't do anything other than trying to build up. And even at his max height, you're like halfway up, to the midsection of Mount Lady. So it literally was just a bad time. But in the current meta, with all of these characters who can just scale to the top of his pillars and everything, I feel like he's a solid B. He still does a ton of damage. Like, his combo, he still has really good combos, but so many characters being able to just instantly get over his head, even at max level with his alpha, is just not a good time for him. Even if you're really good, like, I've seen a lot of really good Cementos mains move away from him because it's just too hard, especially when you get focused, because people innately focus him just because, how big of a problem Cemental's late game can be. And most people don't want to deal with that late game, understandably. So you start to get focused. It's not hard to focus him with so many people being able to jump up and down and get to the top of him like that. But he's definitely in B. Like I said, he can't get out of situations as easily. He's one of the slowest runners in the game. But like I said, he does have solid defenses, and he, if you know what you're doing with him, you can make it work. But he still has some very bad matchups. As the more and more as the game progresses, like late in the gun is a pretty bad matchup for him. But who's next? We were seeing some Dekus, Bakugos, and Hados. I saw Twice in there. Who are we breaking down next? Bakugo, Izuku. You guys get the pick. Kendo, Twice, Bakugo, or Kacchan, Deku. I hate using Cementos. Cementos is one of my favorite characters in the game. Like, I love using, bro. Yeah, you guys don't have to spam it, man. Rapid Kacchan, All Might. Let's see. He fun. Yeah, Cementos is dope. We'll just go with Bakugo. We'll just start going down the line. Mario. So we'll start with Strike, and then we'll come around to Machine Gun or Rapid Go a little later. So with his Alpha, Beta, Gamma, like he's a legitimate Strike. For a long time, he was like the poster child for balance in the game. Like they got a little too crazy with nerfing him a couple seasons back, but since then they brought him up to back to respectability. So he's a solid pick. I wouldn't say he's necessarily meta, but he's not too far outside the meta right now. Like you can load up into any match with Strike Bakugo and do fairly okay, depending on, how good you are with him, depending on your instincts, decision making, things like that. Like, if you understand his limitations and can work around that, you'll be okay for the most part, unless you get focused by a full team who also know your weaknesses. then it's going to be a pretty hard time for Bakugo. But having his special action give him flight. He used to have 3. He used to have 3 of his special action, but they nerfed that down to 2, I believe, after the beta or after the first season. I can't remember when they exactly made that change. Honestly, I feel like he might need to get that back at some point because it's so easy to interrupt his special action. But just going off his raw damage output, and again, if you have aim, like, I don't know if you guys watch Ronan Lifts. Like, he's the Bakugo player in the community, at least as far as I know. And he's a PC player, so he has some of the best aim using keyboard and mouse. And Bakugo can be devastating. Like, he can do a tremendous amount of damage, in the right situations. But he also has to deal with a lot of characters who just either can tank that damage or do more damage than he does, a lot easier. So, and again, he can be a victim of circumstances and situations. So, like, in the wrong situation, you put him in a room with Momo or Kirishima or Kendo or somebody like that, he's definitely going to have a hard time. But similar to Bakugo from the show, you have to use your brain. He's not a dumb character, and if you use your brain while playing him, you can fit right into A tier with him. He's not S tier, but in the right hands at his max potential, I feel like A tier is fair for him. I say he can't get out of situations as easily as Froppy, but he can do a better job of standing his ground than Froppy can too. Who we got next? Matter of fact, since there were a couple requests for him, I'll just go Deku next. Deku. After watching the whole series, I like Deku a lot more. Like I'm never really a super fan of the main protagonist of any show, really, outside of probably like Yu Yu Hakusho. I like Goku, decent enough, but he's never been my favorite character from the show or anything like that. And Deku, he's not my favorite character from the show, but I do really like what they did with him narratively, and I do like that he was used to be the most accessible character in the game. Like one, this is the first character you get by default. You go into training, you got Deku off the rip. And I feel like PC players made it abundantly clear that this character in the right hands can be S tier. I don't know if a lot of people know it right now, but I see a lot of people complaining about dealing with Shigaraki. And one of the solutions for dealing with Tech Shigaraki specifically can be Assault Deku. If you're landing, like if you can land your shots and you have good tuning for him, he can put a Tech Shiggy down pretty quick. Like if you're landing those alphas, he legitimately can put Tech Shiggy down. In a game that mostly comes down to being able to shoot and hit your targets for the most part, if you excel at that, you're going to be really good with Deku, and that's kind of where he shines. He has a general kit that lets him do anything he needs to do in any given situation. So his beta and his melee let him deal with characters like Momo and Kirishima up close. His alphas he can put pressure on anybody. Like he can put up pressure on anybody, and with the exception of her going into scope mode, like the maximum range of her scope is the only thing that gives Lady Nagant the edge over Deku, and the damage that she can do if she hits you in the head. But outside of that, he has the longest range, or the second longest range in the game. He can crouch and do double the damage. His Black Whip can pull people in and set up combos that, if he catches you in a Black Whip grab, you are legit in trouble, bro. Like, it's not many options or ways for you to get out of a full Black Whip combo, especially if they know exactly what they're doing when they grab you. But again, he can also, get around with that. So you can get a Spider-Man on, which is something I want to talk about in another video, how characters like Deku are still restricted to that form of mobility limitations, while other characters are just flying around, with no real logic behind it. They can just fly around. But that's a video for another time. I'm tempted to put him in S because, again, I'm judging him based off his max potential. Like, in the right hands, with the right build, with elite aim, Deku can really be a problem. Like, even for characters who can just sit up in the sky like that, like Tech All Might, who can hover and stuff, a good Deku can really put pressure on him, and he just needs a little support when he's going up against the real heavy hitters, especially in team matches. That's the only thing I would say is keeping him in A. Like, he is kind of dependent on team support in different situations. But again, a very elite character. And for a day one 100% free character, that's not bad. Like, all three of these, everybody on the board so far is free. Like, you can get all these characters for free. You get these two right off the rip, and you get these two just from playing the game. So, that's not too bad, all things considered. Like, again, Deku is a great character to just, like, if you just picked up the game, you're just learning it, I would suggest getting in the lab, going into training, going into unranked, and practicing Deku. Practice your movement, practice your shots, practice your combos and things like that. Because, again, this is old reliable, I guess, is what I would call him. Yeah, simple but deadly. That's a great way to put it, Hassan. Like, bro can be very effective if you really put the time and effort into his kit. Like, I play with some of the best Deku players ever. Gotta go. All right, Jax, catch you later, bro. Appreciate you pulling up. But yeah, you literally you can't go wrong with Deku. You know, especially as the seasons go on, like he still finds a way to just be useful. Who was next? We'll go with Hato since her name popped up. If you remember her in her prime, prior to her nurse, she was a legit menace. She was such a big problem in season 8 for so many characters. Like, again, as the game was progressing towards more vertical mobility, the older characters, they struggle with that because, again, they weren't designed to be fighting over their head. So if you can get over their head, you know, like we joke about it, like Ultra Rumble players don't look up. But yeah, most of them don't look up because they really didn't have a reason to, because most of the people you're fighting are on the ground. Like Momo can't get in the sky. Shigaraki and Dabi, they're not going up in the sky like that. Toga can't get up that high. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand it. But yeah, back in season 8 when she dropped, her peak was really high. Like her betas hit ridiculously hard. If you can land her alphas, that made you even more of a menace. Her gammas, like all of her combos hit ridiculously hard. Like a good Nejire was putting you in the dirt really fast, bro. Like really fast. Like it wasn't even fair. Like it wouldn't even be a competition, honestly. Like she was putting you in the dirt. There was only a handful of characters who could really keep up with her. But right now, after her recent nerfs and buffs, I would say I want to put her in A, because again, I'm looking at her peak in the right hands, but I feel like that skill level has to be really high. Like, because so many players are just kind of sitting ducks. Like, I don't want to put her in A tier and give people the impression like, oh, if you pick her right now, you're going to be dominant with her, because, you know, they made her float around a lot faster. She still can do really good damage, but there are so many people who can, you know, just kind of beam her for sitting in the air. Like, All For One, you know, he can be a really big problem for her. Lady Nagant is definitely a problem for her. Like, floating around in the sky like that, like you're just kind of asking for it. All Might, you know, he can fly up there and grab her. Tech All Might can get up there and get her. It's tough. So I feel like B is fair for Nejire. Like, she has A tier damage, but on a consistent game to game basis, I feel like right now, as the game currently is, she's decent in B. And again, that's fair. So it's like she's over Cementos. You know, can I? Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's like she's in front of Cementos. Deku is in front of both of these two. But yeah, it's like she's solid. Like, again, A+ damage, but when you put the whole package together, she's a high B tier. Let's see. I'll give you guys another chance to vote. Who do you want to see next? We got Rapid Mirio. That's my main / favorite character from the show. Alright, we got one vote. We'll go off that. The Demon Lord. Alright, so we'll do Mirio and then we'll do the Demon Lord as a follow-up. This dude is one of the most hated characters in the game. Like, so many people hate Mirio. It's crazy, and it breaks my heart because bro is he's legit one of the coolest characters in both the show and the game. But the people, I understand people's frustration, especially when you take into consideration the average player skill level. Like, so many people, you know, they don't have great movement. They don't have good game sense. They don't know, you know, how to read the field or read, you know, the different situations. And a lot of people, surprisingly, don't play with, or they play the game with different distractions, like audio distractions. So, like, you have music playing in the background, you got people talking in chat, you got people arguing in your house and stuff like that. And if that's what you have going on, Mirio is going to be a nightmare for you, because if you can't hear him coming, that's crazy. because they literally make this man. They made him an ice cream truck. Like he literally has bells jingling anytime he's running towards you. He turns on the special action. If he goes in the ground, there is all kind of bells and whistles going off, letting you know, hey, it's a Muriel around. Hey, it's a Muriel coming to get you. And it's like, I hate that, but I understand. I get it. You know, they nerfed him. They took away his combos from, you know, when he first dropped in season 5. They took his combos. They knocked his health down 25 points. And, you know, it's like, for a while, it was pretty rough dealing with Mirio, even as a main. Like, I can tell you everything that was wrong with him, but I can also tell you everything that he excels at. And if you can excel with Mirio despite everything that they currently have wrong with him, you can still be a problem. Like Mirio, I'm putting him in B tier, and I'll tell you guys exactly why. So, one, he is still extremely bugged. Like, he has so many bugs with him, it's crazy. Like, getting stuck in a map for different reasons, getting stuck in walls is always a possibility. Like, even just, like, they buffed the special action so that you can, you know, fly to your teammates through any structure, you know, no matter where you are, what you're doing, you can fly through everything and anybody to get to your team. And that doesn't always end well. Like, you can stop me away for no reason, or you can get stuck in a wall, or you can end up outside of the map. Like, all kind of stuff can go wrong for no reason. S tier for Rapid Mirio, nah. Not against really good players. Like, when you get into ace rank lobbies with high tier players who all know what they doing, Mirio is not the problem that, you know, he may come across as in earlier ranked lobbies like pro lobbies and amateur lobbies and things like that. Like a really good Mirio can solo a full team of average players. But even if you're the best Mirio, bro, like you're gonna have such a hard time killing a full team of elite players who all know what Mirio can and can't do, especially as Rapid Mirio. It is so easy to dodge his alphas. It's so easy to dodge his beta and punish it. And his gamma, you know, you can just walk inside of it and punish him if he's dumb enough to hold it that long. And his special action doesn't last nearly as long as it used to. So, with all of that in consideration, and, you know, taking into consideration that he has a ton of bugs to deal with in general. So you're fighting other players and you're fighting bugs at the same time while trying to manage only having 225 HP, which is the lowest HP in the game. Like no other character has that amount of HP. And there are characters who can, you know, like other Rapids can get away from you. You know, they can't run through buildings. They can't, you know, just up and fly away to their team and stuff like that. But, you know, in like when you have modes like solos and things like that, it's like that's stuff I don't think the devs are fully considering. But I also understand not wanting to constantly have people wasting other players' time, because so many players who just pick up Mirio because you like the character, but you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really know how to fight with them. You're just kind of running around, and when you start getting hit, hey, let me press my special action, and it's lasting for like 30 seconds to a minute. And you're just stuck there watching Mirio run around while you can't do anything to him. And it's like, I get it. That's not a great game and experience for everybody. So I understand nerfing his special action. And I do appreciate the buff that lets him zoom to his teammates. So B tier for Rapid Mirio is fair. Like, there's no disrespect. I would put him over Cementos because, again, he can do a ton of damage. Like, when you don't see Mirio coming, he can do a ton of damage. He can get over your head so easily. He has some of the best mobility in the game, and being able to hop in and out of structures and walls and floors and stuff like that at will is man, I'm telling you, it is so fun. But I also understand why people hate it. Like, the second you feel like you got the upper hand on Mirio, he can just, you know, up and get ghost on you. You know, and it's like, that's frustrating. I get it. But as the circle closes, as you know, the game reaches the end, it's harder and harder for him to do that. And even his tactic of just flying in all the way into the air using max all of his betas, I mean, all of his alphas to get as high as he can and stall. Even if we got to wait for you to get back to the ground, there's nothing much you can do. You get what I'm saying? It's not like we can see you coming down trying to gamble. We can see you dive into the floor and we just roll the beta and punish it. It's like it's not hard at all to deal with a Rapid Mirio when you know what he can and can't do. So that's what keeps him in B tier. Who do we want next? The Demon Lord. This dude. Let's talk about this dude. One of those characters that I'm not great with him. I've never been great with All For One. Like, I've tried him. It sucks because I literally had the pity to get him. Like, I wasted 2,000 tickets. I wouldn't call it a waste because, you know, having his special tuning and all of that stuff definitely came in clutch. But he's just one of those characters that doesn't, you know, he doesn't naturally fit my play style. But seeing people who actually know what they're doing with him, fighting a really good All For One, like, I don't know if you guys were in my last stream, but Konami, he is one of the best All For One players in the community, bro. Like, across any platform, whether you're on console, Switch, PC, whatever, he is one of the best All For One players ever. And the way he can just devastate, you know, so many people. Like, he can pull in so many teams if he catches you right. So you're in the middle of a big fight outside and you couldn't time your roll to get away from his gamma, and now you're stuck in this little room with him and he's sitting there poking you with the beta and you are already low, you're dead. And now he can come and steal your quirk, or, you know, your whole team is dead because he caught you all, you know, just at a bad time. And it's so many clips of players just going completely crazy with All For One. If you watch the last official Discord tournament that you know, Bandai hosted, the best player in the tournament was an All For One player. Yeah. Which is, again, crazy. Seeing All For One dominate a tournament in season 12 of Ultra Rumble is insane. Because, again, he doesn't have, like, at his base, in his base kit, he doesn't have any mobility. Like, he can float around. He's surprisingly fast at floating around. You know, for his run animation, he just floats. But he doesn't have any, you know, base quirks that give him any mobility. I'm trying to. How did you get the rating to show up on the video like that? AKA your tier list and try to take mirror. Oh, that's just editing, bro. Basic Canva and Photoshop stuff. And try Tech Mirio. I'll do him after Toga. Somebody asked for Toga, and I think somebody asked for twice before that. So Tech Mirio, again, another one of my mains. I definitely got some opinions on, bro. But yeah, his beta, max level beta, huge problem. His alphas still do crazy damage. Not as much damage. Like, his day one damage was insane. And being able to swap between stolen quirks, like, he can steal another All For One's quirks and just go crazy. Like, bro would literally just be going ham out there. But like, even right now, I would say in the right hands. So let me see how to weigh this, because at his max, like, his max potential is A tier, like, no doubt about it. He can even be S tier with the right quirk. So, like, if he steals a Mirio quirk or a Rapid Deku quirk, or, you know, he gets his hand, like, even Tech Shigaraki quirk, that's something people don't know. Like, All For One with the same tuning build that you would put on Shigaraki and then on Tech Shigaraki, and then if he manages to steal Tech Shigaraki's quirks, bro, like, it is, you literally dealing with the same problem, except he has 400 HP and he has a second set of quirks he can swap between. Like, this dude, he has a very high skill ceiling, you know. So it's like, I could definitely make a case for S, but in terms of just general accessibility, like, most players aren't going to be able to just pick up All For One and dominate. Like, you really have to be strategic You have to be a smart player. You have to understand what he can and can't do, understand his limitations, understand how to get in, steal a quirk, and get out. You get what I'm saying? Like, but at his best, he has S potential, but I'm gonna keep him an A. He's at the bottom of A right now because, again, all these other characters have more mobility and can just have a little more flexibility off the rip. But if he steals the right quirks, even with his base quirks though, he can be a menace. Like that Gamma Beta combo is such a nightmare, especially as the circle closes, and especially if he's camping a building. Like if you get an all for one who's camping a building, it's really not much you can do to get him out of there unless you got like Tech Shoto, or I mean, like, you know, depending on positioning, Lady Nagant can kind of get him out of there a little bit. Tamaki can press him in there. You know, there's some characters who can put a little pressure on him in there. Like good Kirigiri can go in there and get him with his Gamma. Endeavor can Gamma through the walls. Yeah, there's some stuff you can do, but for the most part, you don't want to deal with camping all for one in a room. Like that's just not something you want. So for everybody, I'm starting off with their base skill sets first, and then we'll swing around. Lucario with the sub. Appreciate the sub. Again, shout out to everybody who's been subbing lately, man. A lot of love from the community. Definitely helps to keep me motivated. Shiggy's already hard to down, but AFO with it, yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. Where is she? Toga. This little vampire lady. It's so funny, like looking back at the early seasons of the game, because the community was so split about Toga. Like people hated her, but they also were not overhyping her, but in the sense that most players aren't that good with Toga. So her skill ceiling is ridiculously high. Can I do Momo later? Yeah, I got you. Like I said, I'm doing everybody. Everybody's, you know, getting it. But I got you right now. Just give me a heads up when you're ready for Momo, and I'll make her the next one up if I haven't done it already. But yeah, Toga, one, she literally every season we get some kind of exploit with Toga, bro. Like every season, single season is some kind of bug or you know, just glitch that she can exploit endlessly to a degree that most people can't. So like she was Monoma before Monoma was even a thing. She probably was the inspiration for the way Monoma's kit turned out, legitimately, because she literally could steal and mix and match quirks. That's what she was doing in season 2. She was stealing and mixing and matching quirks. So she can have Kirishima's beta, Deku's alpha, All Might's gammas. Like she literally was doing all of that, bro. And this is after she transformed. Like she turned back into Toga, and she's still doing all of this. She still has, you know, Kirishima special action defense and stuff like that. When Mirio first dropped, she got the permeation bug, so she can hit you, but you can't hit her. And it's like, bro. And it's like, it just goes on and on and on. So even discarding the exploits, every new character you add, all you're doing is giving her something else to play with. You're giving her more weapons by default. Where is he at? This brother, he suffered so much at the hands of Toga, is crazy. Like it was so many clips of people literally just getting milked by Toga. She'll do damage, milk him, turn into him, heal herself, de-transform, milk him again, and you're just sitting there dealing with this, bro. Like Overhaul and Momo, she would literally milk both of these characters, bro. Like milking Momo for her special bag, and milking Overhaul for his special action. Like she'll turn into Overhaul, go heal her teammate, turn back into herself, turn back into Overhaul, heal herself, and if you can survive that long, like she will literally milk you and just go full. It's insane, bro. The fact that she can even do that is crazy, and the fact that she can still do that to this day, like detransforming just resets all of her cooldowns. Everything goes back to zero. So she can take your blood, transform into you, use whatever she wants, detransform, and then steal your blood again. She's ready to do it again. And then they added a second gamma on top of that. They said, yeah, let's make it even worse. And then you throw in tuning on top of that. Like, this character is always going to be a menace. Like, her max potential is ridiculous. The skill ceiling for this character is insane. And if you really commit yourself to playing her and learning everything she can do, in addition to learning what everybody else can do, because if you understand every character in the game, you understand how to play every character in the game, the sky's the limit for this character. And and then if you're going as far as using exploits with it, it's even worse, bro. it's literally nothing you could do against elite Toga who knows everything. Like, it's completely unfair. Love her in the show and the game though. Like, I don't hate her. I don't hate her. She's annoying. Like, her beta beating everything pretty much in an even exchange. That's annoying. But hey. Yeah, I mean, even with them removing her gamma, that's why they gave her a second one. They took away the tracking, but it still hits you when it shouldn't. Like, she still can get your blood when she physically didn't even do anything to you. Like, you won't lose damage, but you'll have a pink string sticking out of you, even though you're behind the corner around the rock. And you still manage to get your blood taken, and now she's transforming. And your team is like, whoa, it's a Toga over there, that's you. When did she get my blood? I didn't take any damage. I never even saw Toga. Toga is crazy. And this is definitively the dev's favorite character. Like, there is no convincing me otherwise. This is the developer's favorite character. This is their second favorite character. But I don't know who on the dev team hate Mount Lady, but they do not like Mount Lady. Like, somebody on the dev team has beef with Mount Lady, but Toga and Ochako, they got the dev's heart. Who did I say was next after Toga though? And again, like, this is coming from both playing with these characters, fighting against these characters, and watching some of the best players in the game use and utilize these characters. So it's like, I'm giving you a full circle, perspective on how good they can be, and also their limitations and they problems and stuff. Because again, most players don't use Toga effectively. Like, most people will just use her gamma for the damage. Like, they're not even transforming or anything like that. But, you know what I'm saying, the ones who are really good with Toga, they know what she can do. They do maximize her abilities. And with that in mind, like, she is legitimately S tier. You said twice after Toga. Got you. Another one of my favorite characters. Like, I love Twice in the anime and in the game. I thought he was okay when he first dropped. And what he needed fixed about his gamma wasn't, insane tracking. It just needed to actually extend. So it's like, when you go to people, when you aim towards people, it just needed to actually reach them. Because when he first dropped in season 3, his gamma was pretty much useless outside of, using it to get around and get away from people. And they buffed that to the extreme, so the tracking was insane, and then the combos were even crazier. Like, you can gamma into beta, you can gamma into alpha combos, and like, Twice was a menace. And then they stacked tuning on top of that, so he got even crazier. His even after nerfs right now, his biggest strength is still being overlooked by most people, because they're looking at the fact that he can't just run up and solo people like he used to. But his biggest strength has always been his special action. Like, building an army is what you should be doing with Twice. Like, getting quality clones is what you should be aiming for. This is probably the worst clone in the game. Never go for that. I don't know why they didn't program him effectively, but don't bother with that. Let me see. Where is he at? Where are you? There he is. This is probably one of the best bots you can get your hands on. Toga is a really good bot too, because again, just the damage that she can do. And again, with aimbot, it gets crazy. A Bakugo being able to shoot through buildings and stuff, is another good clone to have. But yeah, it's like, again, at his peak, he was like A and S tier just off of his own raw damage. But even right now, I feel like after his nerfs, you would be better served playing him in a support role. So, kind of playing the background, throwing alphas, pulling up to help your team a little bit, and then pulling out, maybe dropping the clone behind your team, just to support them a little bit, and then swooping in to get those clones when your team does get it down. That's his biggest strength right now. If you can get a team, I think it's still a max of like 6 or 7 clones. Twice is a problem. Like, even with the nerfs, trying to fight a Twice who knows what he's doing while he has an army running around with him, if he has a full team, and on top of that, it's like you're not beating that, bro. You're not beating a full team of aimbotters. Like, it's just not gonna happen, bro. Like, he gets a Lady Nagant clone, you're popped, bro. Like, you're done. It's nothing you can do. Unfortunately, most people just don't play him that way. Once they saw the nerfs, they put him down and they like, hey, it's not worth playing him. But I'm gonna keep him in a solid C tier. He's gonna be the first person in C tier, because on his own, right now his damage is nowhere near as significant as it used to be. But with the potential of teamwork and getting clones, bro is a solid C. I can't put him any higher than that. A tier? Nah, not for Twice. Not currently. Not right now. Not season 14 as of the making this video. No, Twice is not A tier. If we get a crazy buff for him next week during maintenance, then maybe. But right now, no, Twice is a legit C tier. And again, I'm going based off of if you play him effectively. Because I know most people are like, oh, Twice is F tier or D tier and stuff like that. Hey, again, you just have to know your limitations. So right now, his best defensive tool or offensive tool is his alpha. If you know how to aim, if you can hit your alpha shots, you're good. You can follow that up with your clone. You can do some damage, but again, you really mostly want to get clones made. You want to make clones, have clones running around with you. That's where you're going to get the most out of Twice. Let me see. So before I do Momo, let me make sure, Raiden, are you here? Are you ready for me to do Momo? If not, I'll do Dabi next. But fun fact, I used to be a Momo man. I got you. All right, let's talk Momo. Back in like season 3, I was a Momo man. Like, that's who I was primarily playing in ranked, like to rank up and everything. I was playing Momo and Tech Dabi. Maybe even I think I was playing a little Twice around that time too, but I was playing a lot of Momo in like season 3. She, again, in the right hands, like her maximum potential, like best case scenario, elite players, playing her. And I watch a couple elite Momo players, like if you guys watch Mooney Luna or Chrome Zephyr over here on YouTube. Well, he's on both YouTube and Twitch, but those two specifically are like two of the first people that come to mind. Like, if you want to learn how to play Momo, look up either of those players. Like, they legit got the plays. They legit can tell you and show you everything there is to know about Momo. Momo is B tier. Like, right now, as she's B tier if you play her effectively. So again, if you know her limitations, you understand what she can and can't do, solid B tier. Because, like, even with planning, even with tuning, there's just certain matchups that are just too one-sided, and not in her favor. So it's like, again, so many characters being able to get over her head, that's going to be a problem. Strike Kirishima can be a really big problem. Assault Kirishima can be a problem. Kendo's E-Diversion can be a really big problem. Ibarra, she can shoot her alpha straight through that shield. She can bully her with the beta, and if she get in close enough and Momo doesn't stop her with the bats, or her gamma isn't going off or something like that, she can get her with the gamma. Like, it's a lot of bad matchups for Momo. But Again, if you time her combos right, you put yourself in the right situation. So you lead people in a room, get a cannon set up, and then get ready to push in with the beta. A lot of people, like most of this roster, is going to be trying to put it in reverse and try to get out of that room with Momo, especially a Momo who knows what she's doing. And again, the best Momos are going to get you in that room and block that door with the beta shield so that you can't get out of the room while cannons are going off, and now she's chasing you around the room with a spiked bat. And it's just an ugly situation to be in. Like, that's you literally walked into her trap. Like, that is the ideal situation for Momo. Up close, personal, with cannons bombing in the background, and you just in trouble, bro. Like, even if your team in there with you, your whole team is in trouble. Like, it's not gonna be great. Like, that's not a great situation to be in with Momo. But most people can get out of that situation, you know what I'm saying, or give her the slip. Mirio can literally just walk through the wall and get out of there. So you're not keeping Mirio in there. But, you know, Cementos, that can be chaotic in there. Nejire, that is a nightmare for Nejire. Nejire does not want to be in that situation. Twice does not want to be in that situation. All for one, he might be able to stick it out because he got the health to kind of go blow for blow with her, and that beta can put some pressure on her and get her up off him. You know, so it's like, hey. But B tier is where she is. Again, she doesn't have a lot of mobility without tuning. What is her HP at? 300, I believe, right now. 300 or 350. Yeah, I think she's at 350. She's great support. I use her as a background character, so I support my team from afar and kind of function as a fallback. So if my team is getting in trouble or we getting overwhelmed, I'm close enough for you to fall back to me. The enemies don't know I'm there waiting on them when you get there. So when you turn the corner or come into the room, and if they come in there and chase you, I already have a cannon set up. I already got the bat out. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be safe. You're gonna get that time you need the heal because Momo got you covered. And once we get to the late game, I'm already positioned, maybe a little outside the storm, shooting cannons on the small circle while people are trying to stay inside and stuff like that. So it's like, you have to be very strategic with Momo. And by default, the best Momo players are some of the smartest players in the game. Like, legitimately. I've seen so many creative plays made by smart Momo players. It's insane. Like, Chrome Zephyr is the first person I saw use his beta mixed with Wall Runner. And he just uses that as a launch pad. He literally will run up his beta and fly off somewhere. Like, that's how he gets up to buildings. He gets up walls and all that stuff. Like, he in the middle of nowhere. Like, there is no buildings around or anything like that, but somebody's chasing him, or Shigaraki's just decayed the floor. He puts a beta down and runs up that shield and flies off, bro. Crazy. But I feel like B tier is fair for Momo. I know some people might put a lower because of the mobility, but again, if you know what you're doing with her, you can work around that. And she can still dominate, several members of the cast. Like, again, you get in the room with Bakugo. Bakugo is at a severe disadvantage. Even with his gammas and bombs and all of that stuff, Momo can shut all of that down. Toga and her beta, that's a bit of a different discussion. Siren Stripe here before Jiro. I mean, it's not official. It is not official. That is not official. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's not official until it's official. But where are we going next? Tech Dabi. Again, one of my favorite characters from the show. One of my favorite characters in the game. He is another one of those characters where you really have to employ strategy. Like, because he's not designed to really be aggressive unless they're already low and unless, you're already in a pretty tight, space with him. Another character you don't want to be indoors with, like if you come indoors with Dabi and he already has traps set up, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not making it out of there. And the way I play him, you're really not getting out of that because I know where you're going to try to run. And I have traps set up. So before I even ran in there, I had traps set up in that building everywhere that you would try to escape to. And I placed them there specifically so you can't see them. You're not going to see him until I'm already pressing you and you're trying to run. And now you ran into a fireball in the stairway. You ran into another one when you jumped out the window because I knew you was going to jump over there. You get what I'm saying? Like a smart tech Dabi can literally be a menace because most people just don't see it coming. But objectively, bro, like tech Dabi just can't really press people like that. Like that fireball is one of the easiest projectiles in the game to dodge. I don't know why they gave him that instead of his flamethrower. Like they literally have a flamethrower for him in the One's Justice games, but for whatever reason they didn't incorporate that into either of his kits. You know, in this game, his beta again, it works best if they don't see it coming. Like I see a lot of people playing him wrong, like they run around in front of people and just set traps like they can't see him, and while they're being shot at, so it's kind of counterintuitive. Like, bro, literally, he works best when you don't see him coming. That's it. That's the best. And again, he's also a really good support. Most people don't think to play Dabi as support, but Dabi as a support is really, really good. Like, if you stack him up with full heals and team heals and all of that stuff, and use him as a fallback, so he has a room already set up with traps, and you're getting in trouble because you're out there pressing people, and he's using team heals and team blues to keep you going. But hey, it got a little crazy. Let me run back to Dabi. Hey, somebody's chasing me. Lead them right to Dabi. Because again, once they get in there, it's over with. They're not gonna want to stay in there too long. Trust me, they're not gonna want to stay in there too long. And if they're low on health and chasing you in there, they're dead. They're just not walking out of there. But on his own, going head to head with most of the cast, especially like if it's not late game, is just not a good like Tamaki versus Dabi is such a one-sided fight, bro. Like it is insanely one-sided. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the game. Like that's literally the game. Like there are people who he has great matchups with, but even somebody like Ibarra can, which I got thoughts on Ibarra. We're gonna talk about Ibarra, but Ibarra can bully tech Dabi, bro. Like easily. Like if you're playing Dabi and you're doing your absolute best, like everything about Dabi, you can get bullied by an elite Ibarra player. Literally. But so many characters can get around his gamma, which used to be his best defense, because again, most characters couldn't do anything against it. Like, when you do your gamma, most people start rolling away from it because again, you start setting up traps and stuff like that. Nobody wants to deal with that stuff. But as he is with his, if you play him optimally, if you play as smart as you can, you're still in C tier with Dabi. And I know the slander that Dabi gets. People throw him down to F and D, like, oh, there's nothing you can do. I'm not worried about a Dabi. Dabi will literally catch you with your pants down. And Dabi being in the game late games, small circles, he can be a problem. That Dabi that nobody really focused on, and now you keep trying to find places to heal and get that little second to get a res off and stuff like that, but you keep running into Dabi traps. That's what he's designed for. Oh, it's just Dabi. Let me chase Dabi in this building. Let me chase this Dabi because it's just Dabi. And before you know it, you low on health and you dying. And now you're trying to run, but Dabi's chasing you now. But it was just Dabi, and now you dead. Now you dead getting emoted on by a tech Dabi because you thought it was just Dabi. So many people get killed because they think it's just Dabi. They literally die all the time because they think it's just Dabi. They will literally chase him into ridiculous situations because it's just Dabi. And then even if you get him down, if you get him down but you fall down because you ran into his trap, that gave him time to get right back up. You can't touch him while he's inside his special action fire, which is literally one of his best attacks. And now again, you're already low on health, and now Dabi is chasing you. Dabi is chasing you, and you don't want to be in a situation where Dabi is chasing you, especially around rooms. You don't want to be that guy. Don't underestimate Dabi. Respect him. he is C tier. Even with respect, even with his utmost potential, Dabi is C tier at best. Objectively. Who did we want after Dabi? Tamaki. I did see you saying Tamaki. Bro, I have words about the. I'm here to defend Tamaki. I'm here to put some respect on Tamaki's name. Because this dude got so much slander in season 12, it was crazy. People were saying it takes no skill to play him. People were saying, if you play him, you're a meta monkey. I hate Tamaki. Everybody hated Tamaki. And it's like, objectively, it's not Tamaki that you're hating. You hate the way that low skill players play him. You hate the way that low skill players play Tamaki. Similar to when everybody hated Strike Dabi. Where is he at? Strike Dabi. Everybody hated Strike Dabi because, again, low skill players just use one button. If it got tracking on it, that's the crutch. That's what they lean on. At the Tamaki, can you do Kirigiri? I got you. I hate his beta. So if you play Elden Ring, if any of you play Elden Ring or Dark Souls games, Tamaki's beta is kind of designed like the bosses in that game, where instinctively you want to roll away from it. You want to try to get away from it. But what you actually need to do is roll into it in most cases. Especially if he's up close to you. If you roll towards him instead of away from him, you're going to find that more times than not you're dodging that beta. Because the tracking on that works against him in a lot of situations. Like, insane. Like, as somebody who mains him, like, he's one of my mains. He's firmly in the main tray. His beta can be a problem for him. You know, even when you're trying to do, like finish off a combo. Because your cursor drifted off to the left on a Deku who was running past, now you're flying over there with the beta. Like, that's crazy. And I literally had you right in front of me like this Cementos doing a melee combo, hit you with an alpha, and I was finna hit you with the beta. But Deku ran past and grabbed my cursor, so I gotta run over here real quick, and now I gotta come all the way back over here and get you. His damage numbers are high, but his damage numbers are no higher. Like, I literally did a full I tracked the damage for every character's beta in the game as of season 12. He wasn't even in the top 10. He wasn't even in the top 10 in terms of just raw beta damage. Like, without tuning, without anything. Every character without tuning, he was not even top 10 when it came to beta damage. Like, and objectively, like, realistically speaking, like, his beta wasn't even, like, when you want to talk about beta damage, bro, if you want to talk about somebody's beta damage, you want to go back to season 7 and talk about people's beta damage, like, we can have some conversations. Like, bro was not, it's just people's, it was a combination of low skill players and the way they use him, and people not having a good feel for how to fight him. That's really what it all came down to. Like, people really just didn't have a good feel. It took a while to get a grasp on how to fight this character, because he literally is a Swiss Army knife when it comes to his kit. Like, he can do everything. He has extreme range with his gamma. He can wall pierce with his gamma. He can hit a full lobby of people with just his gamma if he times it right, or if he lines it up right. He can get insanely high if you combine both his betas with his special action. He can get insanely high, stall with his gamma, and then just sit up there and pick his shot. He can load up a full charge gator over the whole lobby and just, blast off. His alpha is dual functioning. So if you max range from him, he can hit you really hard with his max alpha, or he can grab you and pull you in for a combo. He can apply trance blow, which I would never recommend on Tamaki. That ruins his combos. It's honestly not worth it. You're better off using something like perception. But you can pull him in for a melee combo. Put some tracking on him. You can special action into beta. You can melee into beta. I typically do an alpha grab, double melee into a beta. You can do that 2 times and kill any character in the game. That full combo. So just the alpha grab, double melee with a beta with tuning. Like if you have to have the right tuning build on them. But yeah, you can really go crazy with them. And it's like, again, I understand people's frustration, but he does take skill, especially when you're going head to head with full teams. To survive or win in those situations, you have to have skill. It's no getting around it. This, which is why I say every character ultimately takes skill, because you're going to be on the wrong side of a matchup. You're going to be on the wrong side of the numbers game, whatever, and that's where skill and decision making is going to have to come in. And if you don't have that on your side, in addition to already being at a mismatch, you're going to be in a really bad spot. But as he is, bro is S tier. And is, again, I'm looking at his max potential, like in the right hands of excuse me, people who actually know how to play the character. So like, you know, all of his combos, and he has quite a few combos he can do. You know the max range of his alpha and his grabs and everything. You know how to escape. You know how to use his camouflage to navigate around the field. You know how to pair that all up with tuning and stuff like that. He can be S tier. And even at his worst, like in the hands of a day one player who just running around pressing buttons, he can be B tier. Yeah, because a day one player running around pressing beta, whacking people who don't know how to actually fight or get away from that, you know, they're going to struggle with it. So he can be B tier in that sense. And it's like, again, I understand people's frustration. I understand it's not fun being beat easily by a character, especially, you know, a lot of people just go straight to the stats and check the stats of whoever beat them. And it's like, oh, you're a 0.75 or you're a 1 KD, you're not good and stuff like that. It's like, I get the frustration. I understand all of that. But as somebody who goes into training with each character that gets added and checks and see what all they can do, what their combos are, what all, you know, everything they can do, he has a very deep kit, like very deep. He's a very rewarding player or character to play and learn. So, and again, at his best, this dude is elite. He is literally elite. Like, he's equipped to fight anybody. He can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Any character on this list. No matter who it is. You name him, Tamaki can get on with him. He might not win every matchup. He might not win 9 times out of 10. You get what I'm saying? But he can beat every character in this game, and he can get on with the best of them. He has something in his kit to deal with everybody. Any and everybody. Frappies, Dekus, Mirios, you name them, like, he can get with them. Cementos, he can get up there and deal with him. Momo in the room, he got a beta for that. He got alphas for that. He can put a stop to a lot of that. Momo, All For One hiding in the room, he got a gamma to deal with that. Like, he can deal with everybody, bro. He got hands. I was so happy to see how his kit turned out in this game, because I was worried he was going to be too similar to how he is in One's Justice. I don't like the way he's designed in One's Justice. Like, he's like infinitely better in this game than he is in One's Justice and All's Justice. Like, I just don't like the rolling around with the clam and stuff. Like, I was never a fan of none of that stuff. But S tier. Who we got? I saw someone ask for Kirigiri next, I believe. Let's do it. And if you want, whoever you guys want next, just drop them down in chat. Like I said, we're doing everybody, but, you know, we'll get to them. And if you see me drop him in C, that's not where he belongs. That's not where I'm putting him. That's just where he is on screen, so he can be visual while we talk about him. But, and again, everybody who's just joining the stream or just pulling up, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you taking time out of your night. If you can, drop a like on the stream. It definitely helps support the channel. And we are currently talking about Kirigiri and where he ranks amongst the cast. What's up, Metal? Right now, this is just a tier list breakdown. I'm not actually, you know, playing or, you know, running customs or anything right now. But I appreciate you being here, bro. But this is a character I see a lot of people just kind of play wrong. Like there's a misconception about him. So some people, I would say most people I see that play him, they feel like because he's support, they feel like they have to just play the background and just be ready to pull their teammates out when they go down. So they're never really fighting. They're never really getting in on the action. And once the action comes to them, they just die. Like they literally just die. Like they try to run, but it's, if you don't really know what you're doing, you're not going to get far with Kirigiri because it literally doesn't hurt anybody to follow you, which is something I feel like they should change that, honestly. I feel like they should make it where rolling through his gamma or following through his beta portals causes you to take some damage, like decent damage, like something to consider. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you're already low on health. It should do something to you because, again, it can be worth the risk in different situations, but it's too easy to just follow him. And again, I understand, I guess that's part of the design. Like that's what they wanted. They didn't want him to just be able to run too freely away from people, but yeah, even if it's just like a 25 damage hit or something like that, 50 damage, something, just give him something. Like 40 damage. Aizawa Alpha Grab does damage just from the grab now. Like you can do something like that just to, give them a little breathing room or just make people have something to consider. But the way you should be playing Kirigiri is a mix of what I was saying about Froppy, aggressive support. This is what he's designed to be, aggressive support. He can literally go into his gamma and attack from a safe distance no matter where he is. So you can go find somewhere safe, turn it, transform into a drone and fly around and support your team like that. You can kidnap people. You can literally pull people into rooms, from the safety of your gamma and have an all for one or somebody in there waiting. That's how me and my team used to play with them. You literally just snatch them up and bring them in the room. Oh no, I'm in a room with Kirigiri. And again, when you kidnap them like that, you do the beta damage. So when you actually grab them with the beta to pull, you do damage that way, but you don't do damage if they just walk through your portal. So if you pull them, you set up some damage, and then you can follow that up with whatever team you got lying in wait for them, like having a Dabi in the room waiting on them. That's another thing. Having a Momo waiting on them. You can set up some really good combos and team situations with Kirigiri. But again, fighting with him, like he has some really good combos. Like his beta hits hard. Like his beta hits ridiculously hard, and his alphas paired up with that damage adds up quick. And you follow that up with his gamma, like go straight into his gamma and follow that up with even more damage because his gamma just lets him do his alphas and beta while being away from his body. It's like, bro, he can legit be a powerhouse. Like I'm putting him in A tier. He's not S tier because he does struggle with people once they get in close to him, and he does have to choose between using his beta to escape or for fighting. So if you use all three in a fight, you're stuck in that fight for the remainder. Like you've chosen to go all in on that fight at that point because you're not getting out of there, especially if it's a full team hawking you down. The second you try to go into that beta, you're just leaving your body there to take insane damage. Like that's literally all you're doing at that point. But if you play him correctly, like you understand how to do his combos, you understand how to weave in and out of situations, you understand how to maximize damage with his gamma, bro. Yeah, he does get targeted easily because most people just don't know how to fight with him. Like when people get close, they just run. He hasn't been playing Ultra Rumble as much. But it's a guy who's called Typhoon over on Twitch. He is literally the best Kirigiri player when it comes to just raw damage. Like bro averages like a 14 KD exclusively playing Kirigiri in rank. Like he climbs up to ace every season and averages like a 14 KD with Kirigiri. Like he got really good. He's good with a lot of characters, but he was the first person I've ever came across who was really, really good with Kirigiri. Like averaging like 14 KOs. He can easily get 10 KOs with Kirigiri. Easy. Like light work. Whether it's ranked or unranked, is light work for him. But again, the average player, the way they play him, he would be in C tier. So it's like if you're used to seeing him in C tier or B tier and stuff, I get it because that's just how most people are playing him. They think he's a background character, but he's gotten some recent buffs that made him even stronger. Bro can be a problem. He legit can be a problem, and his special action is one of the best in the game. Being able to res both of your teammates from anywhere, like he can pull his teammates from anywhere. Like he can be on a complete opposite side of the map. You could be at the beach, he can be at the mall, or he can be, over at the training area or whatever. He can pull you. He can pull you straight to him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then he can do the same for his other teammate. And again, that's huge. Like that is a major plus, especially for a support character. He doesn't have as much health as some of the other support characters. Like, let me see. I think he only has 300 HP. Maybe. Let me see. Let me know in chat if I'm right on that. But I do believe he only has 300 HP. Where is he? Kirigiri. Yeah, he got 350 HP. So yeah, if you play him right, he has some potential. I wouldn't go as far as putting him in S, even though he can be pretty lethal in the right hands, but in the average player hands, at best you can hope for A. That's about as far as I would give him. So okay, we asking for Dinky next, and then Mount Lady. I got you. But yeah, A tier. Easy. Dinky. Another one of my favorite characters just because, again, he with the Baku squad. Put him in front of Kirigiri. I think that's fair. Like Dinky's damage potential is crazy. Like this dude is still one of the biggest problems in the game in terms of damage output, like just raw damage. But he does have drawbacks that I'll discuss in a second. But yeah, just in terms of raw damage, like if you know what you're doing, if you know how he works, you know how to synergize with your team and stuff like that. Like Dinky is a nightmare. Like you hate to see a good strike Dinky coming. And again, you pair him up with people like this. Like, let's say this is the full team. So you got Kirigiri, All For One, and Dinky waiting for you in a room. Or you're not even by your room. You somewhere looting, you saving civilians, and you didn't see that Kirigiri drone in the sky. And now you just got warped into a room, and All For One is waiting on you. So the second you get up and try to roll or run, Dinky does his gamma. Now you stunned. All For One is pulling for you. So now you just got pulled into a beta, and now you're getting shot in the back with Dinky alphas. You get what I'm saying? Like that's it. And then even let's say you even make it out of that room, Kirigiri can just beta you back in there. You get what I'm saying? Like that kind of team synergy is crazy, and that's one of the underrated things about the game in general. But Dinky himself, bro, like his gamma alpha combo still is one of the most lethal things you can get hit with in this game. Pair that with his special action. If he walks over there and stuns you, like he can just rub up against you, you're stunned, and now you're getting zapped to death with alphas. And again, throw tuning on top of that. He can do what, 4 alphas now? No, 3 alphas, because he's one of the alpha boosters himself, Tech Dinky. So he can still get Bakugo, Strike Dabi, and Lady Nagant. So he can still get triple alpha damage now. It's like, bro, it's crazy. even with just his gamma and beta, you can go all in on his beta. That's crazy. So again, his if you give him some mobility, you give him like space hop, and you give him wall runner, this dude can go. He can be a problem. He can really be a problem. And again, if he has good teammates with him, this is not somebody you want to lose track of on the field. Like, I literally was just fighting a Strike Dinky, a Strike Shigaraki, and a Twice the other day in ranked. And they literally were just causing problems. And anytime they got in any kind of trouble, they would just fall back into a building, Shigaraki beta. And if you try to run in there, matter of fact, it wasn't Strike Dinky, it was Tech Dinky. But still, that's craziness, bro. Solid A tier character. Mount Lady was next. Hey, what about Cementos only being B? I'll give you a quick refresher. Dominant, great defense, great offense, but even with his ability to get high off the ground in the current meta, with so many characters being able to get straight to the top of his max level alpha stack, is just not good vibes for him up there. Strike Hawks can get him, regular Hawks can get him, Shinzo can get him, both All Mights can get him, Kirishimas can come up there, Deku's can get up there, Rapid Bakugo is a nightmare. Chocolate, so many of these characters are a menace for Cementos, but he's still a really good character. B tier, no disrespect. Mount Lady, you want to talk about disrespect? We're about to talk about it. This character, I feel so bad for Mount Lady mains to a degree, because y'all ran it up in season 3. Like being for real, Mount Lady mains ran it straight up in season 3 when they took away aim assist, and she still had 6 betas. She had 6 betas back then, 6 beta stomps in season 3. She was running people down left and right, bro, stomping you out. Alpha combo, gamma combos. Mount Lady was going crazy, and they still paying for them sins to this day. But the deals might be going a little overboard. Like right now, so many Mount Lady mains have abandoned her. Like if you're playing Mount Lady right now, it's just for the love of the game at this point, because she is nowhere near the threat that she used to be. Like nowhere near. Yeah, Cementos can do that if you're on the ground. If you're in the air, the chances of him hitting you with an alpha or a gamma is pretty low, even with good aim. So many people zipping around and stuff like that is just. And again, even if he builds himself all the way up and start throwing alphas, you sending yourself right back to the ground. But Mount Lady, she's down to 3 betas. Her alpha has one of the shortest ranges in the game, and her gamma, you really can't afford to be using that in a fight like that, because she is definitely going to need it to run, because it's just like that. Like after they nerfed her HP, she used to have 350 HP, which I think she needs to get that back. Like they gave Endeavor 350 HP. They should have gave that to Mount Lady, especially with his recent mobility buffs. I feel like he could have dealt without that 350. She definitely needs that 350, because she doesn't have the same survivability, and with team combos and stuff like that, Mount Lady is, man, she in a bad place. Just purely off of throwing hands though and fighting on her own, she's in a better spot than both of these characters, but still, you can put the very best player, a perfect Mount Lady player, elite, know everything about the character. You give them Mount Lady, put them in an ace rank lobby, and they are gonna have a hard time, bro. Against this cast of characters, Mount Lady is gonna have a hard time. After this, we'll see. Because I'm probably gonna grab some food after this. But time kind of flying. But yeah, Mount Lady, like I said, respect to her. Hopefully gets some meaningful buffs one day. But as of right now, like she's firmly in C tier. Like on her best day, low B tier, but on average, C. I saw Lady Nagant. Let's do Lady Nagant. Hot button topic for the day. Yeah. Obviously, every time they add a new character to the game, especially when they're strong, especially when they're strike or something like that, or even when they not strike, because these two are tech and people hate them, and they've been complaining all season about both of them. But yeah, the newest character, they're typically going to be a little overtuned. And the reason that the developers do that is because they want the average player to feel powerful with that character. That's the short and simple of it. They want average players who just picked up the game, or who, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a casual player, but I like this character, or I was waiting for this character and I want to feel like I'm doing a good job with them a little bit. And that's why those characters are designed that way. So even if whatever they manage to hit you with, it's going to feel good to hit you with it because it does decent damage. So I managed to get 2 lucky shots off on you and I broke your shield. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I made you run away from me. I feel pretty good about what I'm doing. She is perfectly, she's a perfect representation of that. Rapid All Might and then Full Bullet. I got you. I got you, Gold Breaker. I got you. She's not in C tier. So again, if you just joined in the stream, Lady Nagant is not C tier. She's just here, so I don't have to move her around all the way. And I'm also thinking about where I want to place her, so I'm breaking it down while just having her on screen. So do not lose your mind. Don't pull your hair out. She is not in C tier. Trust me. Let me move her up just so y'all won't worry about that. I mean, we honestly just going to throw in S tier because that's where she's going. Honestly, that's legit where she's going. Being able to do 357 damage off the rip, like level 1, like her special action, you can't level that up. So if she starts the game and lands a headshot on you, that's 357 damage off the rip. If she has strike teammates, if she has 2 other strike teammates, that damage is going to go up. If she has strike cards active, that damage is going to go up again, another 20%. If she has revenge strike on, so if you broke her guard in that fight and she gets a headshot on you, you're dead. So her damage potential is ridiculously high. Like she has the highest damage in the game, like objectively. Like there is no competition. Like there is no debating. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. Like Lady Nagant has the best damage in the game, pound for pound. Again, being able to just tap people with a headshot is crazy. But I love it. I love to see it. I'm glad that they added that aspect to her because that's something you wanted. But yeah, she even in the hands of a low skill player, yeah, bro, she can be a problem for you. Obviously, if you can't aim like that or you struggle, with aiming, she's not going to be as big of a threat. But, add skill level on top of it, add tuning on top of it, and then add an exploit on top of it because people have been exploiting her gamma all season. Or, since she's been here, on the back half of the season. You got, man, bro, like she doesn't have many downsides at all. Like she has something for everybody. Her gamma on the ground can deal with you up close. So Momo, I can get you out of my face. All for One, I can get you out of my face. That beta shuts everything down. You don't want to be stuck under that because that sets you up for a headshot. Simple as that. You can do a beta into an alpha into a headshot and people die. Like that fast. You can do that to somebody off the rip. Like you can literally level 1 catch somebody with a beta, which you can aim in and aim your beta if you didn't know that. So if you use scope mode, if you activate her special action, aim in at someone specifically, and then press beta, that beta is going to go exactly where your scope is landed. I don't know if a lot of people know that or not. I don't see a lot of people using that, especially people who stream. But yeah, that's something you can do with her beta, like to, get precision aim with her beta placement. Just use your scope. But again, setting up headshots with the beta, crazy. The gamma mobility with the airwalk, you throw space hopping stuff on top of that stuff. It's like this lady is insane. But like I said, I love it. I love to see it. I like characters being close to what they're supposed to be in the show. That's something that confuses me, seeing people get upset by characters being what they're supposed to be. Like, people hate that Mirio can go through floors and walls, but it's like, I don't know what you expected Mirio to come in this game and do, bro. Like, it's Mirio. Like, that's literally what he does. Strike Bakugo is like God tier in the right hands, and the same thing can be said for Assault Deku. Yep, 100%. Oh, you struggle to believe Strike Bakugo is A tier. I would tell you this: go check out Ronin Lifts and look at, just watch any of his Bakugo videos. And that's he has Bakugo videos from this season. Like, bro, Bakugo can get like that. You got to understand what these characters can and can't do. And again, like I said, there's a logic to playing every character. There's a certain way these characters have to be played to get the most out of them. So if you understand that while understanding what other characters can and can't do, and while understanding what the map is, and just understanding the layout of the maps, I'm telling you, all of that stuff will take your skill to the next level. Give Mirio an A right now. Not in good conscience, brother. Not in good conscience, man. If he had his combos, if he had 250 HP, and he didn't have an ice cream truck jingle playing every time he went into the ground or went into a special action, he would be A tier. But Mirio is not A tier, bro. I watch Germ all the time. Bro, I'm telling you, Mirio is B tier as a Mirio main. I main Rapid Mirio and Tech Mirio. And I'm telling you, when you go up against elite players, when you go up against the best players the game has to offer, bro, Mirio is not like that, especially against a full team. Mirio against average players, or just the casuals and stuff like that, yes, you can go crazy, bro. I got gameplay on the channel of me popping off with Mirio. I've been popping off in rank recently. I just started my rank grind. Was this the other day, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. I got 10 plus KOs instantly. I'm getting over 9k damage with them and stuff like that. You can pop off, but you get what I'm saying. It's the pro rank lobby, so it's like it's only so much you can take away from that. When you get into ace rank lobbies with 5 KD and higher players and stuff, like, they know how Mirio works. They know how to dodge Mirio alphas. They know how to dodge his beta and punish it. Like, it's going to get ugly for you real fast. You got to play exponentially smarter, and still, and that's just for like maybe 4 or 5 KOs. You got to work super hard just for 4 or 5 KOs. And if it's you versus a 3 stack at the end circle, it's curtains, bro. Unless they were already low. Like, it's so situational with Mirio. And again, Mirio is my favorite character in the anime and the game. Like, that is who I play. That is who I love. But I will not lie to you. I will not gas him up. I will not have you thinking this man could do stuff he can't do. But Go Brecker, you can disregard Streamlabs. I gotta fix that. You can send long texts and stuff. Don't feel discouraged by that. Trust me, I play on Switch, and I was trying to do something. Trust me, I play on Switch, and that's saying something, since it's always 50-50 if you get OP players or not. I get you. But yeah, Lady Nagant is S tier. After Lady Nagant, we had All Might. All right, so I'm gonna hold on to him, because putting people in C tier is causing problems, because people come in here like, wait, why is that character in C tier? I was just putting them there so I can see them on the screen. Rapid All Might right now, S tier. that little change of giving him forward momentum on his beta shot him right to the top of the ranks, bro. Lady Nagant is over Tamaki, by the way. Actually, both of them are over Tamaki. Toga, like I said, you can come down a little bit because again, it's very specific with Toga being S tier. Very specific, but her max ceiling is S tier. Rapid Might, that brother is a problem, bro. His mobility lets him get straight to the top now, bro. Like, he's so hard to hit now. He can effectively get in and get out of situations now like a true Rapid. And he already had crazy damage on top of that. And he got 4 betas. So he can hit you with 2 of them and get out of there with the last 2 if he need to. With tuning, with different tunings now, he can get his gamma back super fast. Tamaki getting trashed today. I mean, the Tamaki hate is gonna remain, bro. Until they see some major nerfs by his name, people are gonna hate him, to the end. But it's like it's all good. But Rapid All Might firmly in S tier, bro. Like his alphas, betas, gamma, he's all about damage. Like he's a Rapid with strike damage. Like that's it. My ass, like, that gamma shit needs to be nerfed. You talking about All Might? I feel it, bro. I mean, like I said, he's fun. Like, I love his kit. Like, I loved him before the buff, but the buff definitely was needed because his movement, man. I meant to say at the end part of my message. Whatever you said, just retype it again. So I feel like I'm kind of missing it, Gold Breaker. But if just put it together for me one more time, and I'll make sure to catch it this time. Okay, I see what you. Okay, true, but still place him in top A though. As someone who mains Rapid All Might, you would be standing mostly and can be easy to hit. Well, yeah, you don't want to be standing still with his alpha. So the people who are some of the best at playing Rapid All Might, not to stand still, especially too long, trying to trade hits with his alpha because his damage reduction isn't nearly as much as some other characters. So it's like you're not going to get an insane damage reduction when you playing them, but if you know how to shoot, you can shoot. So you can shoot his alphas on the move, you can tap them here and there and stuff, but to really lock down and go full machine gun with him, you need to have an ideal situation. But now, because he can get in and out of fights so easily, most people just go in close, do the melee combo, set up the gamma, and then they just punish you with the alpha once you try to get up from the gamma slam. So it's like there's new ways to play him. But yeah, you do have to be aware of his limitations with the alpha when you go from there. But yeah, if you disagree that Rapid All Might is S tier, I would suggest either watching or getting into ace rank lobbies. If you get into ace rank lobbies with him, bro, like he can be a problem. Like he can, especially like for Nagant. A lot of people have been using him to counter Lady Nagant. Like using his mobility to get up in the sky with her, using his alphas and stuff like that to punish people, especially at a distance. Like I was what was it, earlier in the season, like when he first got nerfed, I was playing a couple matches with him, and like I was dominating like Tech All Mights, Rapid Dekus, like bro was he's like that this season. Can you do Assault AFO? I got you. Strike Deku next. I remember Strike Deku being asked for. Just want to make sure I'm not getting too far away from other people's requests. So yeah, okay. So Strike Deku, and then I got young AFO next. I got you. And then Shigaraki. Alright. So Strike Deku. Where is this brother going? After his recent nerfs, like they changed his mobility with his beta. And then I don't see nearly as many people playing him, but I feel like he can still be A tier. Like even just off his alpha alone, like the alpha damage, and if you can catch people with the beta, like if instead of going for like off the top rope, like if you just I don't know. A kind of feels right though. Nejire is in B tier. She right here. You've been seeing Nejire more because she got a recent buff. So she got a buff recently to make her more mobile to her special action. So she can zip around a little faster with her special action. That alone kind of helped people. But yeah, Strike Deku. I wish No Life was here. I mean, well, he kind of dropped, bro. He dropped Buddy like a character from Toy Story. The damage buff helped, but yeah, but yeah, I would put Deku over Kirigiri. He can get out of situations a little easier than Denki. Let me see. Yeah, okay. That wasn't what I was trying to do, but who do you guys think is harder to play? All for One or Bakugo? Which of these two characters do you feel like is more, or should I say, which character do you feel like is more common to run into good players with? So do you feel like you run into more good Bakugo players or good All for One players? Bakugo needs more skill. Yeah, I agree. To a degree, because honestly, they both require skill, man. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you can you can end up back in that lobby real quick. Bakugo, you running into more Bakugos. Okay. So why does it do that? Okay, we'll do it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna leave Strike Deku over All for One because of this logic. It's easier for people to pick up and play Strike Deku than it is for them to pick up and play All for One. Even though I feel like All for One's skill ceiling is higher and his potential is higher, but it's a lot easier to just pick up and be good with Deku, especially if you know how to shoot. Like if you're on PC or something like that, you should be fine with a Strike Deku, even after the buff to the way his beta works. AFO way easier? Nah, bro. Especially with not being able to have mobility, bro. Like that's what you got to factor in. He can't just get in and out of situations like that, and even the best AFOs can get pressed, bro. Bakugo at least can run. Like a day one player know how to press triangle twice to get out of there. You get what I'm saying? Deku, he got his gamma to get up and get out of there. You really got to know how to navigate early game with All for One, because before he gets a good quirk, all he has to work with is his base. That's literally all he got. And if you fighting out in the open with him, God help you, because unless you're elite with that alpha placement, bro, like you're gonna be having a bad time. His best bet is getting indoors as fast as possible, and his next priority got to be stealing the quirk. That's pretty much how you play All for One, even at any level. Like that's how he has to be played. Who was next after Strike Deku? I forgot that fast. Young All for One. Got it. This dude is underrated. Like in the right hands, he is S tier legitimately. But right now, I'm gonna put him in A tier because I don't think I think people are still catching up. Like a lot of people are still catching on to how his gamma works and how some of his combos work. And he actually has a little more mobility if you mix up his melee and alpha and betas and all of that stuff, his special action. Like you have to mix up his stuff in a pretty, weird way, to get what you need off with him. But, bro can be really good in the right player's hands. But yeah, it's like his base kit, like him, this All For One and this, where is he? Assault Endeavor, like those two characters are just, they're not, they kind of broke the mold of what a Assault character was, prior to season 13 or season 12. Like typically Assault characters, high HP, decent damage, and they can excel in close combat. So when you get in close with them, they can really put hands on you. So Deku, Black Whip, melee combo, beta, alphas, and stuff like that. You get in close on a good, Deku, you in trouble. OG Mount Lady, you get in close, that's exactly where she want to be. So she's definitely gonna put you in the dirt. All the Assault characters, like this dude, absolute menace. If he get in close on you and get his combo going, like you are done, bro. But let me see. Yeah, it's like his beta, his gamma, his special action, his flight mode, all of that stuff is dope. And again, I feel like the community is still trying to catch up with him. Like again, you're starting to see a little more people play him. Like the people who see the potential, because quiet is kept. He's kind of a good option for stopping some of her nonsense, especially in a team setting. Like poking her with the special action, turning off her headshot, options. That makes that fight a little more manageable. Especially if you're not fighting somebody who's using the exploit to stay in the sky. So if you're fighting a legit player and you manage to get that special action in on her, and then go into his gamma and stuff, is like it can, it can get kind of spooky for a Nagant player. I'm gonna be real, but even still, I feel like just because more players are, you have to put some time into learning him. I'm gonna put him in A. Like in the hands of an average player, like day one, he probably gonna be like B tier, but in the hands of an elite player, you scratching S tier. Where he fits in A tier, I would put him over Dinky because he can, get off the ground. He got more mobility. I'll put him over Kirigiri, and I'll put him over his old counterpart, just because again, he's not limited mobility wise. But once people get in close, or he can be in bad situations. Like stuff can go left for him pretty quick in different situations. So I will acknowledge that. But at his best, he can scratch S tier. But right now, I feel like he's comfortable in A tier. Well, I'll play around with this a lot more later. All right, who do we want next? Kendo, Assault Kendo. Got you. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Remember what I was telling? If you were here earlier in the stream and I was telling y'all about biases and stuff like that, I hate Kendo. I love Kendo, but I hate him. And I'll explain what I mean. I love Kendo from the show. I love her personality. I love her dynamic. I love her in the game. Like, I love her emotes and voice lines and stuff like that. I love Kendo. But she is also one of the most obnoxious characters in the game to fight against, bro. Like, she can be super obnoxious, especially for characters who can't easily get around her kit. So, like, Kendo versus a Tech Dabi. Obnoxious, bro. Obnoxious. Just running behind you, throwing rocks, clapping, and then gets to hold up a shield for free on top of having 400 HP. Obnoxious, bro. Disgustingly obnoxious. But with that said, Kendo is A tier. Like Kendo, as she is right now, this season is A tier, and she is definitely in front of these two jokers. Like she has great damage. She has great mobility for a grounded character. I'm gonna stop trying to even line this stuff up. Everybody just in A tier. So I'll explain the order or whatever, but I'm done trying to get the placement right because this just keeps going. Good night. I'm tired. It's currently 10 here. I got you, Lemmy. Appreciate you pulling up. I'll shorten this up or I'll condense this into a normal video and re-upload it later. So if you want to catch whatever you missed, I got you. I'll have you covered on that in a few days. But yeah, her damage crazy. She can literally chase you down, bro. Even with rapids, she can chase you down. She literally can chase you down. But Kendo is legit, bro. Like she is legit. Her beta, the thing that puts Kendo at a disadvantage is teamwork. Like she can deal with most of the cast in a one-on-one situation. When you get into a team and you got 3 people circling around her, getting around her shield and stuff like that, that's what stuff get crazy for Kendo mains. But in one-on-one situations, they will gaslight you and tell you like, oh well, Kendo can't chase people or Kendo can't do this. Nobody will gaslight you harder than Kendo mains, Ibarra mains, and Ochako mains. Toga mains right behind them, but Toga mains a little more reasonable. Kendo, Ibarra, and Ochako mains are the gaslighters of the universe, bro. Kendo is a problem. Season 14 with Tech All Mights and Lady Nagans and Rapid Mights and all those characters. Assault Kendo can be a problem. The answer for Assault Kendo for most characters is teamwork, bro. I respect it, but she is obnoxious. Love her, but hate her in this game. Obnoxious character. Like when I first was learning how to play the game, like when I first picked up this game, some of my easiest wins came from playing Kendo. Like my first game with Kendo, I dropped like 9 KOs, bro, and like 6k damage. Legitimate, bro. Like just picked up Kendo and said, hey, I'm gonna play Kendo today. Kendo and Ida were the easiest wins I've ever had outside of playing All Might and Mirio. like no other characters have I ever picked up that easily. Like literally just picked them up and started popping off. But Strike Shigaraki, I got you. I know you've been requesting it for a minute. This dude, this little disgusting hand, man. It's like A tier is getting crowded, but honestly, that's where he belonged, man. Still, like, they just put out the information not too long ago, just showing which characters are the most picked, who wins the most, and stuff like that. Shigaraki is still one of the most played with characters in the game. Like you still see him in lobbies, bro. No matter what happens every season, like no matter what they do, no matter what nerfs or buffs he gets, he's just gonna be one of those ones, bro. He feels like a sub support. This dude is a menace. Like he is all aggro, bro. He can help you camp. He can dominate a building. He can clear out space. Like in area control battles, these two menaces, bro. You get these two on the same team with a Momo and an Assault Endeavor, and it's just crazy. With a Tech Dobby, like that's a whole nother thing. I'll probably do a tier list for that stuff when they bring area control battles back. But yeah, Strike Shigaraki is legit. Like his beta, alpha, gamma, like he is all about attack. Everything he can do is designed to hurt you. His special actions hurt you and make you take more damage. His gammas go straight for your health. His betas make it impossible to stay in the same room with him or stay near him. His alphas, again, reach far, go up walls. I'm so glad they gave him that buff too that made his alphas go up the walls. That was so needed. That was so needed for that character. They gave him a second special action so he can get up high. Yeah, bro. bro can be a problem with all the mismatches. Like he legit has mismatches. Nejire versus Shigaraki, mismatch. Who else? Lady Nagana is a mismatch for him. Rapid All Might is a mismatch for him. All of these characters can be a mismatch for him, and he can still kill all of them. Because you got to come on the ground eventually, especially as that circle gets smaller. Or if you dumb enough to come in the building with him. If you come in the building with him, you are gonna regret that. Especially if he got his beta leveled up. If he got a max level beta, following him into a building is the last thing you should be doing. And again, two players you can watch if you want to really get good with Shigaraki, like Strike Shigaraki specifically. IDK All on Twitch and Peb Monzo. Peb Monzo. Two really good Strike Shigaraki players. Like IDK All has the craziest movement. Like that dude with Strike Shigaraki was moving insane back in like the early season, like season 4 and 5. He was hopping on top of buildings with Shigaraki from the ground with just his special action and alphas and stuff. Galaxy A12, I gotta check him out. I'm not familiar with his game, but I'll check him out. But yeah, IDK All, I swear about him, bro. Like that's my homie. He is legit with Strike Shigaraki. Like he mained him to this day. Who did we request? Shinzo. I can do Shinzo next. Another character who was so much better than what I was expecting when he was added to the game, dropping him right in A tier. Not even gonna play around with it. The downside to Shinzo was just the fact that his alpha would bug out sometimes. Like his alpha would bug out. So like that's why I put him down. Like I was playing him a lot when he first dropped. Like I was low key maining him in season 11, in season 10. But it's just so many of my combos was getting messed up because of the alpha bugs and stuff that it's just like it was too frustrating. I was like, yeah, I gotta put him down. But even still, like watching people who really put in the time and effort to learn all of his combos, all of his his setups. That I love watching really good players play this game, bro. Like I love watching elite players play the game. Like I love watching the Discord tournaments and stuff like that, and like sweaty custom matches and stuff. Like I love that stuff. And Shinzo in the hands of elite players can be S tier, but on average, I feel like he's a solid A tier. Like he can get off the ground. He got mobility. He can shut you down completely with his special action and his gamma. And those alpha and beta combos hurt. And he has really good melee too. Like everything about his kit is dope. I feel like he's a little more manageable now than he was a couple seasons ago for most people. Because when he dropped, again, when it's a new character, most players are going to struggle with fighting the newest character just because. But as he is right now, I feel like people have seen enough of him to know what he can and can't do. So they're not crying about him as much. He got some nerfs. I don't feel like his nerfs kneecapped him or anything like that. I feel like they were fair, manageable nerfs. And now, I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. We got Ida next. Let's talk about this dude with the kicks. Another A tier character. Like this is what I'm saying. Is like objectively, bro. Like objectively, so many of these characters are still in a good spot. Like Ida hasn't had any real nerfs or buffs in seasons, but he can still be one of the best characters in the game. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's in the meta right now. Like I don't think him, Bakugo, and Strike Deku are meta right now, or Frappy or anybody like that. But they're not so far outside the meta where they're unplayable. Like a good Ida can still, get good damage, rack up some KOs, support his team. Like if you not like the way you play Ida hasn't changed. Turn on Gamma and start kicking people, bro. Start running around and doing stuff. Like that's That's the game plan for Ida. You put him in, hey, turn your boots on and gas up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the Ida way. But yeah, like those combos still hurt. That alpha beta combo still hurts. That beta can still tank a lot of damage. Well, it's not so much tanking damage, but forcing his way through damage. So despite the damage, he's still going to kick you, depending on what it is, depending on what you're doing to him. Like it's not a lot that can stop a full speed Ida in his tracks, but you know, even still, like bro, pick up and play. Ida can be a problem. Like I don't even got a lot to say about him. Ida is legit. Like another recommendation for Ida, if you want looking for somebody who plays them, I can give you two people. Oh damn, what is his name? The first person that off the top of the head is Crack Bronze. But there's somebody else. What was his name? Camco, I believe. Camco over on Twitch. Well, they're both on Twitch, and both again elite Ida players. I'm gonna swing around to the skill sets after we finish all the original characters. So we got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we still got a few people. Who you guys want to see next from the original cast of people? Not skill sets. We got no choices with no preferences. All right, we will go with we can do Monoma. I'm hesitant to put bro in S tier because I still feel like, you know, if you play him the right way, he can be S tier. But he did get some pretty hard nerfs these past 2 seasons, so he can't swap between moves as much as he used to, and all of his damage only does, or all of his stolen quirks only do 80% damage now, not 100%. So that's something to consider. But he still, you know, can copy all the moves in the game. He still can, you know, dominate people. He's still a really good choice. And again, right situations, S tier, 100%. Mr. Compress, after his recent buffs, he's going in A tier. Bro can literally, you know, like if a Rapid All Might is trying to shoot him with his alphas and just letting loose, putting his beta up is going to punish Rapid All Might extremely hard and fast right now, bro. Like, he will literally put you in the dirt. But even with that, like, he still has the same kit. You know, he got a nerf last season, which, you know, stopped him from being an S tier. So he can't, you know, instant kill you with his trucks anymore. He will knock you down after like 5 hits, I believe. But the buff to his beta was big, and again, he's firmly in A tier, bro. Like, again, disregard the placement because I got tired of trying to manage that, but this is legit an A tier character. Present Mike, where you at? At his best, this dude can be S tier. Yeah, I'll do Armored All Might. I can do him next. At his absolute peak, Present Mike is S tier, bro. Like, legitimately. One sec, turn this up a little. Yeah. At his absolute peak, like with the right tuning and all of that stuff, it's crazy. Catch y'all later. All right, Hassan, appreciate you pulling up, bro. But yeah, like this is absolutely crazy, bro. Like his what is it, beta gamma combo, insane with crazy tuning. Like, bro will literally wipe you out. Like, if you put Endeavor's tuning on him and hit somebody with that beta gamma combo, they die. Like, you literally just die. That's the second worst thing to a Lady Nagant, headshot. Like a max level, max tuning, Lady Nagant headshot. Present Mike Beta Gamma combo is the next best thing. He has 3 gammas at max level, so he can get around. He can get off the ground. He can get around if he wants to. His alphas can literally keep pressure on you, like those hurt. And then again, throwing out his boombox, double the damage. So he got his own hype man with him. He can hype his own attacks up with his boombox. Like, bro is a menace. And again, it takes skill to be the very best with him. So to be S tier, it does take skill to play that effectively. But even at base level, he's out. He's an A tier character. Like with his pure damage, just raw damage numbers, you do not want to go into a trading contest with a present Mike. Like that's just something you don't want to do. Tech Might S tier, easy. Like he can do it all. This is RoboCop. That's what I call him. This is RoboCop right here, bro. Like he can freeze you, he can burn you. His burn damage does more burn damage than all the other fire damage dealers in the game. His beta literally stuns you and sets you up for combos. His gamma is his get out of jail free card. It has tracking on it. Like this dude is a menace, and he has one of the best special actions in the game. He can literally zip straight up or burst off and take off in any direction he wants to. Like I don't know what else to say. I know a lot of people complain about him. I don't struggle with him that much. I give you a reason why, but I do like his kit. I do like playing with him. But yeah, 100% S tier character. He has better mobility than Rapid Might. Debatable, to a degree, but the fact that that's even a conversation is crazy. Because again, that's why I'm saying it's like they really blurred the lines between roles in this game. Because rapid characters should be undisputed when it comes to mobility at the very least, but that is not the case, bro. Like everybody in S tier has very good mobility for the most part. Like Present Mike isn't chasing down a Froppy, but he can get up some buildings and run away from people. And if you put Wall Runner or Space Hop on him and stuff like that, it's even better for him. But Tech Mite, he doesn't need Wall Runner. He doesn't need Space Hop. He just needs his special action and bro can get gone. And he got 400 HP. 400 HP is pretty OP, bro. Like I was surprised by that. I don't know what the logic is behind it, but I mean he All Might, I guess. That's the logic. He's All Might. He the symbol of peace. Did we have any requests after that? Kirishima, got you. Kirishima right now, I feel like at his best is B tier. Like I feel like he has more options than the characters in C tier. Like the people I put in C tier, you're just you low key, in a rough place when it comes to options. And Kirishima is a little bit better than that when it comes to options. How about Kota Eri? What you mean? What's up, Hobo? Yeah, you catching? We making our way through this tier list. I got Kirishima in B tier. Like I said, I think bro is those punches still hurt, and he can still get off the ground. He can still come crashing down with that gamma. He can get around with his alpha and stuff. He just, again, he struggles with so many characters being able to shoot him and get over his head and stuff. Wow. Yellow Hobo, you hit ace rank solo queue with Kendo every season, bro. I would think you are legit one of the best Kendos out there, bro. She's in good hands. But yeah, I feel like B tier is fair for him. Like again, his damage is still respectable. He got decent mobility, but he does have some glaring limitations. Who do we want to see after this? Because we don't have Kota or Eri. I'm not doing Strike. I'm not doing Strike Kendo yet because we're not doing the skill sets just yet. I'll go with Aizawa. Another solid A tier character. Like his damage was S tier not too long ago, but they tweaked him a little bit, and now between his mobility, his special action, and his raw damage output, I feel like A tier is legit where he is. In the right hands of an elite player, he's scratching S tier legit because he can shut people down. Like he can shut people down like no other character in this game. But I got you, Hassan. But yeah, he does still, have limitations. Like his alpha does have a limited range, and you can outrange him with characters like Shoto and Bakugo and Deku. Lady Nagant definitely outranges him. He can be just as aggressive as Shinzo. It's just they go about their business two very different ways. Is how I would break it down. I'm actually kind of surprised Red Shiggy is higher in this though. I thought he'd be a tier lower, but then I saw the people who make us the tier. Yeah, bro, it's like like I said, in the right hand. So the way I'm gauging everything is off their max potential. So like in the hands of the very best players, while also gauging their accessibility for lower tier players or lower skill players and stuff. So if you squeeze the most out of him, he can get higher A tier, but on average player who just knows what they're doing can make Shigaraki a real problem, especially as the circle closes. Can I do one for all Deku? I'm getting around to him, but yeah, since he's a character, I'll do him after I do Shoto. But yeah, Aizawa firmly in A tier. All about damage, all about shutting you down and setting up his team combos. Like getting grabbed by that alpha and getting a headshot or dinky stuns or, Ida kicks and stuff like this. This brother is a menace. Like, look at his face. He knows he's setting people up. Like, he be on dirt. Legit. Shoto. I could put him in S tier. I legit could put this dude in S tier because his damage is nasty, bro. Especially once you get into to plus ultra and tuning and stuff. His getting hit with his beta while he's plus ultra is ridiculous. Like he's right behind Lady Nagant and Present Mike with that damage, bro. Like 2 betas. Sometimes it doesn't even take the second beta, bro. Like a plus ultra beta from Strike Shoto is ridiculous. Like legitimately ridiculous, bro. Like they broke him down, like they nerfed him maybe like a year ago. So they scaled down his damage. They slowed down his alpha shot speed. They tweaked his gamma, and all of that stuff. So he really kind of fell out of the good graces of most players. But slowly they built him back up, and bro is a problem again. He's meta. Like he's meta in a way that Bakugo and Deku aren't, because again that beta damage alone is really just kind of keeping him in the rotation for most players. They're just in the tier. I was ordering them hobo, but like every time I move somebody, like if I move them over 1, like look at that, and it should have just moved over 1, but it's not ordered, not anymore. Who was after Shoto? Who did I say was after Shoto? Rapid Deku. Slap this little menace right up there. This dude is a absolute. He still can punish you with his melee combo for 1. So let's just get that out the way. He got some of the best mobility in the game. His alpha slap hard. His beta, especially the max gamma beta, is ridiculous. Like you do not want to hear that, you don't want to hear nothing that he's screaming in the air. Like if you hear Deku screaming and coming down, you just don't want to be around there no more. And his gamma, again, the speed boost, the ability to lock on and catch people, like he can chase around corners and all of that stuff. Like that gamma is broken. Like his gamma is more broken than Tamaki's beta and peak Strike Dabi put together. Like that gamma is a problem. Like his ability to chase and stuff is one of his biggest features. And again, I don't hate the character. I don't hate his kit. I don't hate that they made him the way that they did. But objectively, you cannot have people just getting stuck in melee combos like that. Like that's just not good game design. Like they got to get that under control. If they get that under control, I feel like most people can live with the gamma before they can live with being stun locked to death with melees. But it's no debating whether or not he's S tier. Like, bro is literally S tier as of season 14. Did we have any requests after that? Let me see. Be right back. I got you. I got you, Skeller. Let's do Ochako next. Another A tier character. A season ago, she was S tier, but they finally brought her down a couple notches. But even then, it's not much. Like they just took away her ability to insta kill you if she catch you with her gamma. That's pretty much. And I'm thankful for it, because that was ridiculous. And again, high skilled Ochako players, they will punish you 100% if they catch you with that gamma. Like you were as good as dead if you were in ace rank lobbies, playing against rapid Ochako mains. Like it wasn't a question. Like it literally was just gonna happen. But yeah, Alpha, she got great combos, great mobility. Those betas still hurt. Like I said, she's a solid all-around character. Again, one of my favorite characters from the show. Probably my favorite, female character from the show. Like I like her personality. I like her, determination and stuff like that. And I like that they gave her functionality in the game. Like she can be just as aggressive as any character in the game, just based on her kit. Like she can chase you. She can harass you from a distance, so she can throw cards at you. And if you close enough, she can catch you with her float, and that's definitely not what you want. And they gave her a float for her special action, so she can float herself and float teammates. Like I said, I like everything about her kit. I just don't like people dying instantly because you made one mistake. I'm not a fan of stuff like that for any character. And let me see, what else? Would I have any other? Yeah, like when she was able to just stand over you and spam beta and punish you for getting right up. To be fair, yes, players got to learn to use they iframes better, but still, like nobody wants to play the game like that. But like somebody just standing over you, spinning and spamming a card, that's kind of crazy. But ultimately, I like the character. Who we got next? We can do Ibarra. Let's finish out with the students. Ibarra, I feel like at her best is A tier, but based on how most people play her, I'm gonna put her in B tier. So in terms of accessibility, I feel like she's B tier. So she has some of the greatest damage in the game, which again, her players and mains will gaslight you and tell you all, well, she can't catch people, or she doesn't have mobility, so it's okay. This dude doesn't have mobility, but he can't do 200 damage to people. Like, no, he's not doing 200 damage alphas and betas and stuff like that. But again, I get it. She got 400 HP. She has what is it called? Hyper armor on most of her attacks. I get it. And again, I don't hate the character. I don't like that you have to kind of aim in just to hit her alphas in most situations. I'm not a fan of that. But it is the most effective way to play her. But I feel like not aiming in her alpha should be kind of like a shotgun, since the hair is kind of spread. Like, her hitbox on her unaimed in alpha should be kind of similar to Tech Shigaraki's alpha. they do got to tighten up the hitbox. Speaking of hitboxes, this hitbox on her Gamma, the hitbox on his Beta, and the hitbox on his betas and alphas and stuff like that stuff, we gotta fix that stuff. And his stuff too. The hitboxes in this game, man, like, do not believe your eyes. What you see is not what it is. Like, you can roll literally, like, this can be the Gamma circle for her, and you can roll right here and you'll still be lifted up. This dude, his Gamma can be right here, all around here, and you right here. And guess what? At the last second, it'll expand and pull you in. Never trust your eyes with these characters. But yeah, Ibarra, like I said, in the hands of elite players, A tier. They know how to move with her. They know how to get damage with her. They know how to support. But she still has a lot of limitations. She cannot get off that ground. You can put space hop on her. I don't know how practical that would be. I would definitely put wall runner on that at the very least. And probably reinforce revive just to, fully support your team. But yeah, I feel like B tier is fair for Ibarra. Hopefully the Ibarra mains don't crash out about that. Sticking with support, we can go with Overhaul. I'm tempted to put him in B tier too. I feel like if you play him the right way, he can be A tier. But again, he's one of those characters where I feel like the average player is gonna be B tier with him at best. Like his Gamma, like all of his attacks have really good damage. His alphas are some of the hardest to hit in the game though, and it's very inconsistent to be able to land his beta unless you're punishing people who are kind of grouped up somewhere. So it's like his betas are situational, his alphas are unreliable, and his Gammas, that's pretty hit or miss depending on if people know how to roll or not. And the hitbox on his Gamma again is something else that kind of needs to be fixed in the game. I used to be in Ibarra main, then they did something to her, I think, in season 3, and she became so mid for me. Like, hope I don't know if you know Swedge or not, but Swedge is really good with Ibarra. Like, bro can get like a 10 plus KD with Ibarra. Who else? I feel like I know another Ibarra main off the top of my head. Swedge, he doesn't stream. You would have to catch somebody else streaming and playing with him to see his gameplay. But I'm trying to think if the last Ibarra player I knew like that was probably Syken. I know, Risky, K2 Risky plays Ibarra from time to time. He's pretty good with her. Yeah, Swedging, yeah. But yeah, I feel like B tier is pretty fair for Overhaul. Like I said, he got limitations, but if you work hard, you can be, you can find your place in A tier with him. But on average, you're probably going to be struggling a lot with him. And you have to play really, really smart with him. And even with all of that, you got people like this running around. So like, Rapid Deku, Tech All Might, they're going to be dominating Overhaul. And then as I said earlier in the stream, she is literally from his nightmares. Like, this character is designed to just terrorize this man, which he deserved for what he did to Eri. So it's all good. We don't feel bad for him. Not over here. But I played with Swedgen before. We don't talk to each other like that, but we played before. I got you. Who we got left? So we got the heroes. We'll go in order. So 3. Right now, he's B tier. Now, he's not as bad off as a lot of people make him out to be after his nerfs, but he is nowhere near as good as he used to be. Did Yellow Kiri get a buff? Not recently, and not one big enough to make him A tier. I would have to check the dev blogs on the most recent ones, but I don't believe so. Not off the top of my head. But yeah, Hawks, still a solid pick. What hurts him right now is just how short his special action is. He can't get out of range of your sight right now. Like, he used to be able to just take off and you wouldn't really be able to see him. Now, Ibarra can catch him. Like Ibarra can hawk down Hawks, especially if she got like wall runner. Like she can catch them. Season 7 Hawks, Ibarra wouldn't dare. Like it just wouldn't happen. Like most of the Rapids couldn't catch him. Either couldn't catch a full blown, full special action Hawks. Like he is legit just taking off. I know it's a joke now. Like people make jokes about like old players are telling ghost stories about Rapid Hawks and Prime Hawks and stuff like that. But yeah, Season 7 Hawks was a problem. If you want to know how big of a problem he was, go watch the first Discord tournament that they hosted. That was that was in Season 8. They had just introduced tuning, and people were using Prime Hawks with Prime Sisterly Disposition. So he had extra defense while having offense boost from tuning. So he was even worse in Season 8 than he was in Season 7. So like I said, if you want a general idea of how good he was, go check out that tournament, because the people who won, one of the players was using Hawks and he was dominating. So if you don't know, now you know. But right now, as in his current form, he can still be a really, really good choice. Especially like if you're playing on like off of your teammates, so you're sticking close to your team, you supporting and stuff like that. But yeah, if you weren't around to see Prime Hawks with Prime tuning, you missed out, bro. Like you think Monoma was a problem, if you think Rapid Deku is a problem, not to say not to say Lady Nagana isn't a problem, but this dude was blitzing full teams, bro, in his prime. He will put your full team down in the dirt with just his beta, all at the same time. If you standing too close to each other, or somebody went down and you came in to pick him up or something like that, and he caught you with the beta, because the beta doesn't knock you down. That first hit does crazy damage. That second hit knocks you down, but you half dead. And the second you get up, guess what? He's coming right back around. And you lost track of him after the second one and you fell. So you don't know where he is. He knows where you are. And he's coming in for that last hit. And he just does that to your whole team and you die. That was Season 7. That was Season 7 Prime Hawks. Season 14 Hawks, he wish he could do that. But he can still put up a good fight. He can still stall in the air and stuff like that. He can still escape a little bit. Some of the people, so he's not the worst off. But again, B tier is for people who are good, but have limitations. Like they have some pretty glaring flaws to them. Endeavor, A tier. This dude, he has been the devs fell in love with him at some point, because he's got nothing but buffs in recent patches. He's sitting up with 350 HP. He's had multiple special action buffs. And again, his damage has always been solid. His alpha, pretty hard to land consistently. Like you can't just sit there and beam people unless you can stay over their head, or they're committed to just running or something like that. But if you're smart with his betas and you know how to time his gammas, like Endeavor can be one of the biggest problems to deal with in the game. He struggles with full teams though. So like if he's getting pressed by a full team, he doesn't struggle as much as he used to, since he can just up and away. But still full teams are one of his biggest problems. Like that's where things kind of go crazy for him. Why is Tech Toga higher than Aizawa? Because Tech Toga can turn into everybody here and everybody everywhere else on this list. Tech Toga has insane potential. Like her skill ceiling is higher. The only person who has a higher skill ceiling than Toga is Monoma. And the only reason he's not in S tier is because of his recent nerfs. Like he can only do 80% damage with stolen quirks, and he can't swap between quirks as much as he used to. But Toga, like in the hands of elite people, she is just a problem. And then on top of that, every season she gets a new exploit to abuse. So it's like Toga is always going to be S tier. But yeah, we got Endeavor and then All Might. This used to be S tier, but now bro is firmly in B tier. On his best days, he's still A tier, but between getting jumped by full teams and just being out DPS by so much of the cast at this point, and having limited options for running, so like you can interrupt his special action, which again the startup on that I feel like he could use a buff. So like if they speed up his special action startup, I feel like he'll be in a little bit of a better spot. But all of his defensive moves, well, his one defensive move, which was his special action. I mean, not his special action, his gamma. Different things can interrupt that now. Like Strike Shigaraki's alpha can't hurt him while he's tornadoing around. Ibarra always can hurt him. Muriel can kick him out of that. Like I said, it's a couple things that can get him out of that. But still, very solid choice. He can throw hands with the best of them. Connor, we're gonna get to him. I'm about to start doing skill sets next. We finally got through all the normal character or base skill sets, so we're gonna start doing the second or replacement skill sets next. But yeah, Assault All Might is still a solid pick, but I feel like, especially with most people not knowing how to really hit his alphas consistently, they just kind of steer away from him, especially since he can't run as effectively as Rapid All Might. They nerfed his splash damage, they nerfed his alpha damage, even with tuning. His beta still hit really hard, but again, that's not something you can consistently land easily. And his gamma is more defensive than offensive, and so many things can interrupt that now, so that's not as reliable as it used to be. But yeah. Hey. All right. Rapid Go. Rapid Go is first up. They recently nerfed his damage down, and because he can't, just finish kills as easily as some of the other characters, I'm gonna put him in A tier. But if you know what you're doing with him, man, Rapid Bakugo can be a problem. Like, especially if you can land your shots. If you are up against a Rapid Bakugo who can hit his alphas and knows all his combos, you are probably going to be having a bad time. Unless, of course, you playing Tech Muriel. But yeah, the average player, you probably hate Rapid Bakugo, especially in game, because that circle gets smaller and that's less place. There's less room for you to avoid his gammas when he come down, especially if it's max level. And again, he's never really on the ground. He's hardly ever on the ground. Like, he can touch the ground for 1 second and he's back up there. They call me the fly swatter. I mean, like I said, he can be caught. He can definitely get caught. Another solution for him is Tech Dinky. Tech Dinky punishes him like hard. Kendo can punish him. Like, there's answers for him. Hawks can come up there and get him. Like I said, there's answers for him. Strike Dabi can get up there and get him to a degree. Skelebomber, you back? What's good? Appreciate you swinging back around. But I feel like A tier is legit for him. On his best day, he's S tier, but on average, I feel like he's a solid A tier character. Who we got next? Which skill set we talking about next? Red Curie. Menace. S tier. Great defense, insane offense, insane mobility for a non-rapid character. Like, everything about this character is S tier. Like, he can tank all your damage with the beta. Like, unlike Kendo, his shield doesn't break. It can run out eventually, but it doesn't break. It can hit you with the ground slam, even if he's off the ground, even if you're off the ground. The hitbox is a lie. He can throw. He gets 5 giant rocks to throw at you. again, people complain about characters doing stuff they never did in the show, and that's one of the things most people complain about. Like, when did Kirishima throw rocks? Hey, it's video game logic. You know, the same with, you know, Chaco throwing endless cars and stuff like that. But legit S tier. Like, this dude, I mean, like I say, it's not that he's unbeatable. Like, people can beat him, especially if you catch him low. And again, I don't really struggle with him, but you know, it's like he can be a problem. He can legit be a problem. He can press you. He can chase you. He can hit you from range. Like, if he didn't have a gamma that allow him to throw a projectile, I feel like his character would probably be a lot more balanced. You know, just because, again, Kirishima isn't known for projectiles, but neither is Mirio. So, yeah, people in glass houses can't throw rocks, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, he's S tier. Not really my play style, but legit powerhouse in the game. Inferno. Got you. Inferno Fist. I'm putting him in A tier just because he does have some drawbacks to his quirks. But on his best day and in the very best hands and best situations, he is S tier. But on average, I feel like he's another A tier character. He's not at the bottom of A tier. This stuff isn't in order because, again, I got tired of trying to manage it. But you can make an argument for him being at the top of A tier. I would say that. Like, he has great mobility from his special action. His beta gamma combo hits insanely hard. Like, he is the god of third party. And like, these two, instead of being designed to do damage up close and like do hard hitting in your face attacks, they're designed for hard hitting third party attacks. So they hit the hardest when you don't know they're there or when you don't know they see you. And this dude has some of the craziest damage in the game. Like, your whole health can get depleted just by getting caught lacking by this dude. High A tier. High A tier. Who we chopping it up about next? We got 3, 6, 9, 10 more people. The fact that we got 13 skill sets in this game is crazy. Toga. Y'all, you know where she's going. You know exactly where she's going. A menace. Like, she doesn't have a bad season. Like, at all. Tech Mirio next and Yellow Shiggy after that. I got you. She doesn't have a bad season. Like, she's never outside the meta. Always a solid pick. Alphas are annoying. Beta is annoying. Gamma is annoying. Special action abuse. Like, it's literally Toga on steroids. That's all. So now she can get in the air. She can stay in the air. I think she gets 4 gammas, if I'm not mistaken. Does she have 4 gammas or is it 3? Rapid Toga main, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Does she get 4 gammas at max level or is it just 3? It's hard to hit gamma. Nah. Well, you might need some practice with it because I've seen people consistently do it. I'm getting conflicting information. I'm seeing 4. I'm seeing 3. All right, let me do a check. All right, where's she at? Where is she at? Toga. Yeah. So she has 3. Okay. But yes, 3 gammas that give her, you know, mobility, verticality, and that's how she can transform. She can instantly transform into you if she hold it down. She can punish you with that beta alpha combo, beta gamma combo, like all of her attacks combo into each other. She can transform, do whatever she gonna do with your quirks, and then de-transform and have everything reset. Again, just a menace, bro. Like, this literally is a menace. And like I said, she could be obnoxious to fight against, but it's all on brand for her character. Like she has crazy movement. She's unpredictable. I just wish that she had drawbacks. So like when she de-transformed, that should be on cooldown for one, because in the show, like if she stays transformed too long, she starts suffering, drawbacks from that. Ochako should have drawbacks to using float for too long. So like once her special runs out, she should get nauseous. You get what I'm saying? So she should be, put in a standstill or something for a second, or moving slow, kind of like Ida when his gamma burns out. I feel like drawbacks are something we're getting too far away from, especially with Deku. This was a perfect opportunity to add drawbacks again with Gear Shift. The man literally shouldn't be able to breathe after Gear Shift runs out. He should be on the ground wheezing, trying to get some life in him, but nah. Bike King was like, just let him go. My audio's starting to bug out. Let me see. Is it the background audio or is it the mic? And let me know if any of this fixed it. The only problem, she's slow to run without a transformation. Okay, YouTube acting up. Appreciate it. But yeah, S tier, bro. Like without question. My main S tier. This dude can do it all. And it's like I 100% understand people being mad about Mirio. The thing about Mirio is, what's up, King? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you pulling up. You came just in time, bro. I'm talking about our main right now. The thing about Tech Mirio is he can be punished. Like all of his attacks can be punished. And Assault Shiggy is after Tech Mirio, and then I'll do Tech Shiggy after that, Dr. Christelle. The thing about Mirio is his alphas aren't easy to punish, so I wouldn't advise going for punishing his alphas. One sec. Alright, I'm back. And Rapid Mirio. So I wouldn't advise trying to exchange hits with his alpha, because he's only vulnerable every... he only gets permeation on every second shot, but the speed in which he shoots those out is going to be impossible to time in most cases. But if he's in like a small room with like, Dinky and Shigaraki betas going off and stuff like that, like he's going to take some damage. And he's going to have to get out of that room pretty fast. But you can hit him while he's shooting alphas. I just wouldn't advise it. Or trying to, trade hits with him. His beta, if you can avoid it, you can punish him in the second he comes out of the ground. Like, he's completely open to punishment right after that. And for his gamma, just don't shoot him. Like, it's literally that simple. People get mad when I tell them that. Like, if you just wait, if you just pause, he's going to be vulnerable. The wind down from doing the gamma and missing or not having anybody trigger it it's a wrap. You literally going to eat a ton of damage, especially if your alpha is on cooldown too. it's you're in a bad situation. Glad P Mike and Toga is up there because y'all must have forgot or weren't even here today. Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. They definitely in S tier, bro. Like President Mike, again, he takes skill to be S tier, but even in the hands of average players, his damage keeps him in A tier. But in the hands of people who really know what they're doing, he's easily S tier. You should make another tier for the top 3 characters in the game, since that would be the easiest team to win with. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just keeping it simple. I used the base tier list as it was. Maybe we'll do another one of these in the future. Like I said, it's fun. I like talking about all the characters and stuff. But Miria, S tier, legit can fight full teams, bro, by himself. I do it all the time in ranked, like all the time. Like I've been sharing the videos with you on the channel. He's legit one of the best characters in the game. And I'm so glad they dropped him, because Rapid Mirio, like I said, he leaves some stuff to be desired. Tech Mirio, even without mobility, like I just use Wall Runner on him, and that's all I need. That's literally all I need. Wall Runner and willpower. That gives me everything I need. Who did Assault Shiggy was next. A tier. I've been seeing a lot of people downplaying Assault Shiggy lately. Get stuck in his combo and see what happens. Let bro get you in a full combo and see what happens. People forgot P Mike has that massive damage boost. Oh yeah, passive damage boost when teammates get down. Yeah, his gamma goes through the roof, bro. And then you pair that with the beta. The beta gamma combo, especially when he plus ultra with no teammates, you are dead. You're dead. Like, you're out of there. This character, gamma into beta, into gamma into beta, you, bro, whatever is left of you is scrambling away trying to find some place safe to get away from him, and now he's spamming alphas on you. Giving Shigaraki vertical mobility and a projectile that decays people was crazy. Letting him fly towards people like a cat, slam the ground down, hitting them for massive damage and decay damage, and then spamming a stun of decay. It's like, this dude is crazy. Like, A tier easily. Like I said, he has limitations, but man, this is one of the best fighters in the game, bro. Yeah, he said Tech Shiggy after that. Tech Shiggy, you know where he going. This is the boss, bro. This is legit the boss of the game right now. I love the way they made him. I know people are pissed about him, but in terms of just bringing a fraction of what he can do in the show to the game, I applaud them for that. Letting this dude search for people, giving players the experience of fighting a character that is ridiculously hard to kill. Is like, I feel like they delivered on all of that. I feel like the tuning build, pairing revenge support and revenge assault with him is like that just helps sell that fantasy. You know what I'm saying? That experience. And he can die. That's why I don't find him to be that big of a problem, to the degree where I hate him or I despise the fact that he's in the game, because he can be killed. It's just certain people have to go about it in certain ways. So like, quiet is kept. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know this. If you're really good with Assault Deku, like you really got good aim and all of that stuff, and you have a good tuning build that's centered around giving you alpha damage, you can solo a fully tuned out, fully max level Tech Shigaraki by yourself. If you can keep pressure on him with those alphas, you can kill him. Like, you can out DPS his healing, all of that stuff with just your alphas by themselves. You don't need strike teammates. You don't need strike tuning cards. You don't need any of that. Assault Deku with a good tuning build is all you need to put him on his back, bro. I am not lying to you. I will show you the footage. That's all you need. Another way you can deal with Tech Shigaraki, Aizawa. His special action shuts his gamma off completely. Completely. So even if he has revenge assault and revenge support going, you can stop that. So if you turn off if you turn off his gamma, he's not constantly getting that proc because he's constantly getting GP back. Because every time you break his guard, you're resetting the revenge tunings. So if you turn off his quirk and keep attacking him, that disrupts his whole play. Like, that disrupts everything he has going for him. So again, if you're really good with Assault Deku, or you know a teammate who's really good with Assault Deku, you like Aizawa, you really good with Aizawa, two options, bro. Two very good options for dealing with Tech Shigaraki. All for One with Tech Shigaraki quirks, a menace. He's even worse. He's worse if he gets his hands on that. And for some reason, playing All for One with Tech Shigaraki's skills feels more natural to me than just playing base All for One. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, the same tuning build can work for him and everything. I don't know. Something about him with having All for One with Tech Shigaraki's skill just feels natural to me. But S tier, legit S tier. I remember people who were being underwhelmed by him before he actually dropped. They were like, "Oh, I'm skipping him, and he looks boring. He should have been a new character." And then day one, when he got into the game, the screaming and crying started, bro. People were pissed. But like I said, I'm here for it. Like, I watched his name is Nighthawk over on Twitch. He mains Endeavor. He's a Strike Endeavor main, but he's been branching out into Lady Nagant a little bit and Tech All Might. But he was playing Strike Endeavor earlier, going head to head with Tech Shigaraki, and won. It was hard. It wasn't easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. It's Tech Shigaraki. You get what I'm saying? But that was one of the dopest matches I watched play out in a long time. But who did we want after Tech Shiggy? Hobo Disregard Streamlabs. I gotta go in and retweet that. But yeah, guys, you can send long messages. You good. But what was I about to say? Strike Kendo, I got you. Again, S tier. Insane offense, insane defense, insane mobility. Even though she's not as mobile as she used to be after the nerf. Streamlabs ain't doing me dirty. But yeah, it's like her alpha stun is obnoxious. Her beta, her just being able to zoom at you with that beta after you hit her in any kind of way is obnoxious. Her gamma, obnoxious. But it's Kendo. Like, punishing with offense, throwing hands, having a strong defense is like, that's all on brand for her. Like, that's why I said, I love Kendo. I love Kendo, the character from the show. I love Kendo, the character in the game. She has some of the funniest and best voice lines in the game. I like her emotes. I like her costumes. I love Kendo. But she is one of the most obnoxious characters to fight in this game. I stand by that. That's not me advocating for her to get nerfed into the ground or nothing like that, because I feel like everybody should be able to have fun with the characters they enjoy. But I do feel like some things kind of go a little overboard when it comes to Kendo. So, like, high HP, high shield durability and stuff like that is like, we got to kind of pick a lane at some point. But I digress. S tier for Strike Kendo, though. Once they fix Nagant Gamma, she's going to drop and Kendo going up again. Yeah, it's like the people who thrive on the cheese every season is like, that's what they search for. It's like they go into every season looking for something to exploit. Like, if you can't play the game without some kind of crutch, and then the second the crutch is fixed, you drop the character or move on to the next thing, it's like, that says a lot about you as a player. But, that's just how people are going to play the game. And it's on the devs to, fix stuff like that to stop things like that from being a thing in the game. Purple Turtle Rocky sucked. I'm assuming you mean Todoroki, and I'll talk about him next. Another one of my mains, A tier. At his best, he can scratch S tier, but with so many characters being able to get over his head and it being unnatural to just kind of constantly be fighting over your head, that's where he kind of struggled. But shutting down a building or invading a building and stuff like that, storming and stuff, he's one of the best at that. He can fend off a whole team for a little bit. He's great at supporting his team and defending like down teammates and things like that. His offense is still really good. Slapping wall runner on him and space hop definitely boosts him, but he's definitely high A tier. And again, this is coming from a former Tech Shoto main. I still play him. Like I just played him a couple solo matches recently, I believe, and was popping off. I recorded some clips, but yeah, he's still pretty dope. But yeah, like. If you understand his limitations, so if you don't overplay your hand with him, bro is legit, still a dominant character. It's just when he gets to going head to head with the upper A class and upper S class characters and players, it gets rough. I was waiting on No Life to show up. If Rapid Toga is not S, bro, I don't know what game we playing. I don't know what game we playing, but since you just popping in, I'll give you the breakdown. So these characters are being ranked not only on their base gameplay, but on their potential. On their potential. Rapid Toga is B. She just dies. nah, bro. Like wait, I'm telling you, her skill ceiling and her potential is S consistently. Like every season she gets better. Every season, no matter every character you add to the game, you're just adding to her arsenal. And the people who really excel at playing her, they capitalize on it every season, bro. Every season. But yeah, Tech Shoto, high A tier. Her main gimmick just gets her kills. She takes blood with Gamma and gets shot. You might need to get back in the lab with her, man. I'm hearing some issues on your end. Bugs, Toga the queen of exploit and advantage of bugs. 100%, bro. The exploits alone keep her in S tier. Like even if you take everything else about her kit away, the fact that she get a new bug to exploit every season keeps her in S tier. I'm the father of Edith. Got you. Alright. No Life is here. Let's do Hawks. Let's hear from No Life. Where do you have Hawks, sir? What tier is Strike Hawks in? Low S? Respect. He's in a similar boat to Young Allform, where I feel like the community is still trying to catch up to his potential. Like they really struggle with learning his kit and executing at a high level. But like I feel like he's like in the hands of average players. I feel like on average he's going to be A, but his max ceiling is S. I feel like he's more accessible than Young Allform too. Like I feel like more people like just being able to pick him up and start doing stuff. I feel like you would probably perform a little better in the hands of average players than Young Allform, because once they try running away and that doesn't really work out, and going into his Gamma, setting himself up to get hit and stuff like that, I feel like most people just kind of steer away from him. Where Hawks, he still has the special action. His Gamma can give him insane, distance on his special action if you know how to do it right. His combos is crazy. He's a strike character, which I feel like a lot of people overlook. Like his damage is some of the best in the game. But yeah, Strike Hawks S tier. I can be okay with that. I say skill for skill, a Red Dinky, Young Off One, Aizawa can diff him 100%. 100%. Telling you, this is one of the most dangerous characters in the game. But if you know what you're doing and you focus on your positioning and you don't overplay your hand and you catch people, especially just right, like if you catch you with that alpha into beta into alpha combo, you are like, if you don't die, you're gonna be hurting really bad. Like now you're panicking trying to get away from him, and now you have a Strike Hawks in pursuit. So it's like he can really punish people. He can get up in the sky and punish people like Lady Nagant. Like he has a really good kit. Really good kit. It takes some getting used to for the average player, but if you put in the time, get in the gym with him, I feel like he's a very rewarding character to play. All right. And then there were 3. Who do we want to talk about next? Miss Chaco, the Dinkster, Lightning next. I got you, Dr. Christelle. I'm leaning S because he can be a problem. Like this dude can literally be a problem. But yeah, that's true. Like I said, I'm rounding it all out, man. It's potential mixed with the average player. So on the average player, you should be able to put out A-level effort. But the best players are going to be S tier. They're going to be scratching S tier with him. He's not he's not dominating S tier at all. But with his damage combos, and he still has good mobility, especially when you mix in his gammas and alphas, like he's up there. Tech Dinky, I'm leaning more towards A than S. Like when he gets up close, he can definitely spam you down with his alpha combos and stuff. His betas don't hit that hard, and the tracking doesn't last that long. And his gammas, like I said, they're fine. Like I said, his kit is great for damage. He's not as damaging as Strike, obviously, but being able to lock on and shoot multiple people from a distance is the highlight of his kit, and that's what he excels at. I feel like they kind of went overboard, letting him spam stun people into stun with his alphas. But as he is right now, I feel like he's mid to high A tier. But let's see, Strike Dabi or Ochako, who we want next? Based on potential, he S. Yeah, with potential, he's scratching low S tier. Yeah, Tech Dinky with Space Hawk. Yeah, there's ways to play him. As a day 1 main, Strike Dabi after the Purple Dabi. I'm going to put him in B tier just because he still has mobility. So he got that going for him. Like he can get off the ground a little bit. His gamma killing him and having that be necessary for him to really do damage with his alpha and beta is one of his biggest limitations. So it's like you constantly have to manage your health, especially late game. That becomes increasingly more difficult. They nerfed his tracking on his beta, so you can dodge that. They buffed his alphas. I like the alpha buff. So he's not like bottom of B tier, not in my opinion. Dabi is the worst character design. He dies. His beta bugs a lot. He's severely punished for grabbing. I'm glad you said that because that's literally the stuff that I've been trying to tell people. Like since he dropped, like since day 1, Strike Dabi dropped into the game, I was telling people like, hey, you can punish that. Like I get his beta is hard to roll, but if you're playing in teams, like if you're in solos, then yeah, you pretty much at his mercy, unless you got somebody who can counter him. But if you playing trios and ranked and unranked and stuff, and you see Strike Dobby grabbing somebody, even if it's not your teammate, everybody should just lock in and punish him. And now people start doing that. It took him a couple seasons, but yeah, if you strike Dobby, you know better than anybody the limitations of your kit, or you should. If you're a good Dobby player, you know your limitations. So with being able to use the buff from the alpha recently, so you don't even have to hold it up. You don't have to charge it to get more tornadoes sent out. But yeah, you get some tuning, you get some strike cards. You can punish it a little bit with the alpha before popping in with the beta. But still, you have to be selective when you use the beta. And again, something I do with them, I'll use the beta to get over there right when my gamma's about to go off. So I'd fly past you with the beta and just smack you with the gamma explosion. Like I'll literally do that. Like I'll punish you with the alpha from a distance, break your guard, and then start pursuing. And then even if I miss the beta, it's gamma time. We just go from there. But B tier at best, bro. Like on his worst day, he's definitely down in C, but he's low B tier, 100%. I've grabbed people in frozen in place. I've tried the beta run just to grab a frog. Yeah, it's rough for him, bro. Like I had a ton of fun playing Strike Dobby when he first dropped, but honestly, he's not what I was hoping for from a new Dobby skill set. I'm hoping we can get Assault Dobby in the future. Like if he gets a new skill set or a new character variant, I'm hoping that it's Assault, and I hope they take some of his new attacks from All's Justice, because he definitely needs some attacks from Endeavor, and he definitely just needs a more aggressive skill set that doesn't set him up to be punished. Like that's literally what he needs. Like one of the best characters in the show, in the anime, and in the All's Justice games is like, I don't know what went wrong over here, bro. Like I was saying earlier, Tamaki is way better in Ultra Rumble than he is in One's Justice, and the reverse is for Dobby. Like Dobby is way better in the One's Justice games than he is over here. But the last lady of the hour, 3 hours in, that's crazy. I'm gonna have a hell of a job editing this, but she is legit A tier. On her best day, she S tier. But with her beta being her only real mobility and that being able to be interrupted, I feel like more and more people are picking up on that fact. And she, when she goes head to head with some of the higher tier characters, she can struggle a bit, especially with people who can get up and punish her while she's trying to, take a breather on her gamma. But she's definitely high A tier. So again, none of this is ordered. I would try to go back and make a distinction. The skill sets in this tier are mostly going to be high A tier. So high A tier, high A tier, high. And everybody else just kind of get in where they fit in. But, just that's pretty much the logic. The top of S tier is Lady Nagant. Rapid All Might right behind her. Tech All Might and Rapid Deku is higher A tier than Tech Toga and Tamaki and Present Mike. Strike Kirishima and Strike Kendo are higher than them. Tech Mirio is higher than them. Shiger, like, it's not 100% in order, but S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. I don't think anybody is D and F tier because, again, I think there's a logic to playing every character in the game. So there are situations where Dobby can thrive. If you play twice a certain way, he can be really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Just as a support / backup player. If you're trying to go out there and one-man army people and stuff like that, you're probably going to have a bad time. Mount Lady, she needs help. I don't know who she pissed off in the dev's office, but she's not in a great place. But she can throw hands and hold her own better than these two in a straight-up fight. Even as it is. When you get into just flat out team fights and stuff, or like if it's a 1v2, 1v3, Mount Lady is in trouble, and she has a hard time escaping from most of the cast at this point. but I don't feel like she's trash. I don't feel like she's unplayable. I just feel like there are certain situations in which she does better than she did seasons ago. So like season 3, you can jump in the rank solo queue with Mount Lady and get it done. Like you can legit get it done. You got 6 betas to work with. Her gamma combo is ridiculous. Going big, I mean, you would get punished for going giant in most situations, but there are situations where like late game situations where you can punish people with her special action. Now this brother can shut her special action down with one button. Lady Nagant can head sniper. Like it's literally a terrible time for these characters right now. It's not much better for some of the B tier characters like Overhaul and Strike Dabi, but they're better than C tier. They have more options, and they just have a little more versatility. Like again, B tier isn't bad. B tier isn't unplayable or just the worst. These are good characters with limitations. Their limitations aren't as glaring as C tier, but man, put Red Dabi next to his OG. Which OG you talking about? The original Dabi, or you talking about Pops? Because he's not going to A tier. He is not getting up there. But this was fun. Dr. Christelle and Scalabomber, I appreciate people like you guys being here from the beginning to the end. If you just joined, dropping a like definitely helps support the channel and the stream. And I will be going back over this list. I'll go through all of this footage, chop it up, and make it more digestible and just make it a more conventional video. But like I said, I did just want to chill out with you guys for the night for a bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab me some food for the night and probably lay it down. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Got a new video dropping, and we'll probably be streaming later tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that. King, bro, we got to set up some time to run some matches together. No Life, we got to run some matches together. I'll probably have some new gameplay videos up because I got a couple. I had some really good ranked matches this week too. So I got a lot of stuff in the works for you guys. I'm still working on my Discord. I'm literally putting the finishing touches on that. So we'll be up and running with the Discord hopefully by the end of, this is the end of the week. This is Friday. So hopefully by the end of next week, we'll be fully functional with the Discord, and I'll be announcing that on the channel and everything. But again, thank you guys for 2,500 plus subs starting off the new year. Thank you for your continued support. And again, we will always be back every week with more Ultra Rumble news and videos. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.